Probably one of the best rivalries in the city when it comes to the football field. Great cut up the middle. He's got some space. Slips a couple tackles. Rodriguez to the pylon for the touchdown.
Excellent pass, but just as good a catch.
Joel Pastrana will not be caught.
Stopped at the 3, kept on churning, and finally got into the end zone.
Lambert breaks free. Jonathan Lambert up the middle. He's going to win the game. Throwing it up to Exelholm. What a catch.
We've seen some amazing games, but that was
one of the best we've seen in a long time. Hello, Boston. Welcome to White Stadium in Jamaica Plain as we bring you the 2017 Boston Public School Middle School Football Championship. As tonight, the Young Achievers Knights will be taking on the Frederick Panthers. Hello, everybody. I'm Pat Flaherty, joined by my partner, as always, Alan Platt. Alan, you know, we do a lot of great games throughout the season, but this might be the funnest when we see these young guys come out here in the middle school championship game. It's always a blast to see these young guys with the smiles and some of the helmets that are a little bit bigger than the shoulder pads.
Well, that's the thing. It's all about development. The 8th graders, the older kids, pretty much dominate the games. But right. You're right. Some of the 6th and 7th graders who get in for the first time are excited to be in a championship game. You never know how they're going to react.
Right. This has been sort of a strange season in middle school football. Only 4 games during the regular season.
Right.
They started
Very short
a little bit
season.
later.
Very short.
So it's certainly tough to kind of figure out who really is the best team in the city. But the teams with the best records made it to this game. And first we'll start off with the Young Achievers, who certainly showcases a lot of speed, especially with one of their running backs, Memphis Vicente. He's one of the players we're going to look out for tonight. But a lot of guys who can fly on that team.
Well, yeah, you mentioned Vicente. You'll see him carry the ball and catch the ball if they decide to throw it, because he'll be their main guy out of the backfield. Good speed, like you said. Has some power. You look at his size. You can tell he's not quite fully filled out. But, again, only an 8th grader. So
right.
that's what you expect. It's interesting, too, because the Achievers had a little pressure on them. They actually lost their first game by forfeit.
Right.
So they had to win the remaining 3 to get here, which they did. So give them credit that they had pressure on them the remaining 3 games. So
right.
They got here to the championship game, and they'll take on Frederick.
No question. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Frederick Panthers 4-0 this season. Hasn't been easy. They've been down in pretty much every game they've played, but they also have some pretty good skills position players, and that includes one of their top backs, Isaiah Montero, who they'll move all over the field
more
tonight.
More speed. I tell you, when you talk about 8th graders, middle school kids, what ends up happening is a lot of times, depending on who's on defense, if you have a lot of underclassmen on defense, then the fast 8th grader can pretty much dominate the game. Unlike high school, the games we do all season, you see some of the bigger players actually be the skill positions
right.
because they're usually a little older, they may be a little more developed and a little more experienced. So look for that tonight. Not a little bit of wind, not a whole lot of winds. Mother Nature's actually giving the middle schoolers a break.
Yeah, it's
because
a nice
here
night
we are.
tonight.
I'll tell you, right before Thanksgiving, and we got a break. We're in the high 40s. So if it stays like this, a little bit of heat from the lights, right? So
at least for us,
we're ready to go.
No question. Very comfortable football weather here in mid-November tonight for the middle school football championship. So it should be a lot of fun. Now, for more on this game, we're going to go down to our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky, who's got an update for us. Seth, what do you have?
Thanks, guys. This Frederick School team has been to the championship game in 3 of the past 5 years, and they're using some of the things that they learned in last year's championship loss to help them out this season. One of the big losses that they've had before this game, Edwin Casey suffered an injury. The team's top player, a running back and middle linebacker, unavailable today. But one of the big things they focused on during the offseason was the fact that they needed to cultivate some backups in case they had a player who was ineligible or hurt. So Casey's not available, but they have a couple of players who are willing and ready to step up. The other big thing that they focused on, ball control. Too many turnovers in past year's championship games. They're going to look to keep control of the ball and stay disciplined on the defensive side against a very, very fast team on the other side of the Young Achievers. Guys, take it away.
Thanks very much, Seth. And a lot of times when we see these younger players, you give it to the best athlete and the fastest guy in the field, often reverses field all the way to the other side. So when he talks about pursuit and staying in your lanes, that's what a lot of these teams got to do.
Coaches, we'll probably hear them yelling it out from the sideline all game on both sides, because you're right. You get a little excited at this young age and you want to over-pursue, you want to be aggressive, you want to make a big play. Sometimes you're out of position. So we'll see if that actually plays a factor in this game.
The Young Achievers taking on the Frederick Panthers tonight at the Middle School Football Championship here at White Stadium. We're going to end a break. When we come back, we'll have the opening kickoff right after these words, folks. Don't go away.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
We can warn someone when their drink isn't safe.
And disrupt the situation.
We can.
Get someone the cab.
Or walk them home safely.
We can make campuses safer for our friends.
Our roommates.
Our classmates. Our fellow human beings.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can.
Intervene.
It's on us.
All of us.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education?
What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job?
Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher.
You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess?
What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. It's so wet.
With the groove, show proof, keep it smooth as I bust the move. Where you step in swiftly, with me keep up. If not, just stop, pop a squat, put your feet up, read up, pay attention, listen to the melody. Remember what you heard, got my words to the spell of me. Top notch, got them all jumping like hopscotch, or jumping rope like double dutch in the air. Show me what you got, keep it hot like the heater. You thinking you a treat, cause you're sweet, but I'm sweeter. Leader of the pack, cause they all stay behind me. I'm old school, you don't skip tracks, you rewind me. Find me, working on my craft.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to White Stadium in Jamaica Plain as we bring you the BPS Middle School Football Championship. The Young Achievers Knights taking on the Frederick Panthers. As we mentioned, both these teams playing just 4 games during the regular season. Frederick coming in undefeated at 4-0. Lila G. Frederick actually played in the championship game last year, ended up losing to Edwards 16-0. So having played in the championship game just a year ago, you got to think they have a little bit of more knowledge on how to play the
definitely.
game. Like
I mean, basically, just count all the 8th graders who were 7th graders last year as part of that loss. So they get their typical sky blue they're going to receive as they won the coin toss. And This was mentioned earlier. They've been in the championship 3 out of the last 5 years, and that light blue is very familiar. I have to tell you.
We've seen them a lot over the last couple of seasons in these championship football games. You know, in the more full seasons when they are starting in September, they've actually had a doubleheader on these type of nights where they've had the township and then the city championship. But this season, just because of the short season, just a city championship for the BPS middle school football. So that's what we got here tonight at White Stadium. And Young Achievers in the all-black uniforms with the yellow trim. And as Alan mentioned, Frederick's in the light blue jerseys with the white trim. And we are just about set to go here at White Stadium.
A little bit of wind, but like you mentioned earlier, the weather, the temperature itself is not that bad. A lot of the kids are wearing short sleeves.
And we are underway here at White Stadium. It's fielded right around the 31-yard line for Frederick, and a great return down the sideline for the Panthers, finally getting shoved out of bounds for Lila G. Frederick. Looked like Isaiah Montero on the return.
That's the play we talked about in the open, and that's why he snatched it out of the air, didn't let it go over his head. Like you said, tacked on a nice return, get them started.
There's Montero trying to take it to the outside.
Good job, 26-yard return all. Sets his offense up in good shape. Both teams like to run the ball, so it's safe. You're talking about young players, it's always the safest way to go.
At the quarterback spot, it's St. Ange for Frederick. Meanwhile, it's Sanchez and Montero are the running backs. Cooper Hall and Ismaeus are the receivers. And like you said, not a ton of throwing the football, but
yeah, we'll see a lot of tight formation.
Yep. Also, some of those wide receivers will get the ball on end arounds and reverses and a couple of different plays as well, especially with Frederick. As Seth mentioned, they run a few different formations compared to the rest of the middle school football teams. Now on first down from the Young Achievers 44-yard line, they do hand it off, and here's Montero once again down the sideline, and he is still on his feet as he's wrestled down out of bounds.
Got a flag coming back. I think that's going to come back.
And that was actually big number 8 for Lila G. Frederick, Xavier Sanchez. But
he's the other runner, like you mentioned. You talked about the speed.
Number 9.
The whole thing's coming back.
So that was a 38-yard run, but that one's coming back.
Actually, his partner in the backfield, Montero, was the one caught the hold.
An illegal block in the back, number 9 on the blue, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, repeat first down.
But you see, right on cue, you see the kind of speed that Frederick does have. And he's one of the bigger kids on the team.
Yeah, it must have been well behind the play. I didn't see it in that.
It wasn't. It wasn't an hour. And again, it's one of those things coaches look at and say, "Wow, didn't even need the block,"
right?
Because it broke clear early.
So that penalty backs Lila G. Frederick up to the 47-yard line of Young Achievers. So it'll be 1st and 13 for the Panthers. On first down, they hand it off again to Sanchez, and he's still on his feet, but good gang tackling from Young Achievers. Just a short pickup there on first down.
And this time they're going to the opposite side. They tried the left the first time. This time they tried the right side, and linebacker came up in good shape for that tackle. Here's Cartagena.
Second down and about 11 now for the Frederick Panthers.
You mentioned the contrast and how Seth talked about formations. Young Achievers is the opposite. They actually tried some new plays last week that didn't work that well, so they're going back to when they get the ball, they'll be a very, very basic offense.
Yeah, back to basics. They really use just about 2 formations. We'll get into that when they get the football, but you're exactly right, Alan. 2 different concepts for these teams. Now we got fumble snap.
Young Achievers got it.
And Young Achievers does recover.
Snap never came up. Quarterback couldn't get it clean. First turnover of the game.
Yeah, that was number 8, Darwin Soto, who jumped on the football.
Bounce. Oh, Soto really alert. First break of the game as the Lila Frederick team thought they had a 35-yard run wiped out by a penalty, then come back 2 plays later and give up the first turnover.
Let's take a look at the starters for the Young Achievers now that they've recovered the football. Woods at the quarterback position. Vincenti and Soriano are the running backs. Meanwhile, for receivers, it's Simplica and Velasquez.
Got the guy to watch is 16. We spotlight him in the open. So they move him around a lot, actually. He's going to start out as a wing back. They're going to go shotgun.
It's Elijah Fernandez back as a running back right now. And that time it was Jalen Soriano carrying the football for the Young Achievers.
So the cornerback came up in good shape that time. They were to take away the outside and also tackle for a loss. It was Cooper Hall. Defensively, you see, he plays wide receiver, plus he's a cornerback on defense.
So that time it was Soriano who was back in the shotgun. Now it's Woods under center. And back in the shotgun for Young Achievers. And that time it's Soriano who gets the direct snap. Soriano trying to get to the edge, and he's dragged down behind the line of scrimmage. 1 yard loss once again for Young Achievers. So right now,
two aggressive cornerbacks. I'm telling you, they're playing really aggressively. You see the cornerbacks come across the line of scrimmage as soon as the ball snapped. Left to your screen, you'll see the cornerback come up right there, and excellent job, one-on-one tackling, grabs the jersey and keeps control. Two really aggressive plays by the 2 cornerbacks for Lila Frederick. I think a couple of kids switched uniforms, so wasn't get this number straightened out.
Right.
But I tell you, that's you can see how they're 4-0. Because defensively, obviously they're not a whole lot of chance to scout, but Young Achievers has been a running team the entire season.
And neither of these teams faced each other during the regular season, so this is the first time they're seeing each other out on the field. Woods going deep down the left side of the field. Certainly got the arm, but Soriano couldn't quite catch up to it. A little too far there for Jalen.
You put it so high in the air, I'm just wondering if the wind might have gotten a piece of it and sailed it long. Oh, but Soriano showed his speed, and watch him get it up in the air. See, a lot of air under it. Yeah, Soriano has the defense beat by a couple of yards, but ball just too far. So 4th down.
Yeah, we'll see what Young Achievers does here. We're not sure if they do have a punter. That's always a question mark on special teams. It's always a question mark at the middle school
Special
level.
teams in middle school sometimes is very special. Matter of fact, you get some of your bigger plays on 4th down.
Yeah, that's right.
Over the years that we've been doing these games, we've seen some serious plays on 4th down.
Again, it's Woods out of the shotgun, going to take it himself. Here comes Woods. Darnell to the outside. Still on his feet, inside the 40. Wrestled down near the 29, and that's where they will mark him out of bounds, actually at the 27. So that's exactly what you just mentioned now on 4th down pickup.
That time, the cornerback who's been playing well got caught inside, gave Woods the outside, and excellent job. He gets the 1st down. Now he's just tacking on some more yardage as he's able to skirt down the sideline. Big 4th down play to keep this drive alive. But you're right. You talk about the punters, and some teams literally don't have really talented punters, so that if you're near midfield, it's not that big a deal to take a chance on 4th down.
26-yard carry that time for Woods.
We just I was talking about how aggressive the cornerbacks for Frederick were. The first 2 plays they threw them for losses, but then that time cornerback got beat inside, gave up the sideline, 26-yard gain.
So So now on first down for the Young Achievers from the 28-yard line. It's Woods again back to throw, this time over the middle. It's almost intercepted, ricochets in the air, and falls to the ground.
It was one of those I think all the guys back there heard the ball bounce. Right. It went in the air, but no one could find it.
Right. Or they looked up and it went off their helmet.
Watch the replay. See, okay, the ball comes down, it's wobbling. You're right, hit right off the helmet, but 3 guys are looking for it, but they couldn't quite get to it.
That thing looked like a ping pong ball.
This is a case where, okay, Young Achievers, maybe it's because it was the turnover or what, but they're actually going away from what they usually do. They usually just pound the ball.
Sure.
And their main guy hasn't even seen the ball yet, Vicente.
They actually started off the season with a different quarterback who was more of a pocket passer, but because they couldn't quite get the passing game going, they went with Woods as the quarterback position because he's a better runner. And that pass a little too high, wide open out in the flat. That time was Fraylin Corona.
Had some room, too. Yeah, Darnell feels bad. Woods feels bad about that one because he knows he overthrew it. A little anxious, still the first quarter, because he put too much on it. Like you said, there was some open field there if he could have caught that.
So after the incomplete pass, 3rd down and 10 now for Young Achievers.
Bunch formation to the right.
It's Woods out of the shotgun. Couldn't quite handle the snap. Now going to take it himself. Woods again looking to make another big run. This time he's dragged down right around the 25. So he'll be well short of the first down. It'll be 4th and, I believe, 3.
He made it a manageable 4th down, maybe.
I'm sorry, that's 4th and 7.
He could have been thrown for a big loss. Just couldn't handle that shotgun snap went right through his hands. And instead of getting thrown for a loss, like you said, they able to use that speed of his to get around the first rush of defenders and at least pick up 3 yards.
Frederick sideline looking to fire up their defense here once again on 4th down. Young Achievers with a 4th and 7, looking to continue this drive. Last time on a 4th down, their quarterback Darnell Woods with a big run to pick up the first. We'll see what they do here. Bunch formation, bottom of your screen. It's Woods again going to try to take it himself.
Speed.
Darnell looking to the outside. He does get there, and I think he is just short of a first down. He's about 2 yards short.
You're right. The play was developing, but just ran out of room toward that sideline as he was trying to turn it upfield. Right here, it gives a little ground because of the blitz. So now he has to make that up, get back to the line of scrimmage, and couldn't quite cut back inside in time to get the first down. So Frederick defensively doing a good job after giving up that big 4th down play. Get the ball back.
It's a good defensive stand in there for Lila G. Frederick after they fumbled the football in their opening possession. Panthers now with it at their own 20-yard line. 2:17 left to go here in the first quarter.
Interesting formation defensively because Soriano is the free safety. What's that, 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Right.
He's the last defender, probably their best tackler.
They go to the direct snap to their best running back. That's Montero looking for some space. Isaiah Montero now trying to cut
field
back up the other side. Montero with some room, trying to stiff arm a defender, and he's dragged down right around the 30. That should be a first down.
Yeah, penalty on the opposite side of the field. Before he reversed his field, something happens. We'll see what the call is, but like you said, you mentioned in the open pad, a lot of times we see these kids reverse their fields. This is the flag going down right there. Now Woods, 24 right there, did an excellent job to come back and use his speed to slow him down and didn't get some help for the tackle. But again, holding on Frederick. Let's remember now, Frederick comes in the game 4-0. They haven't lost. And then they're making some of the mistakes that you're not used to seeing. It's a young team that hasn't lost, usually is very confident and they're very precise, but they had the fumble on their first drive. Now we've seen 2 big penalties that really stifled them. they're putting themselves in bad position, field goal, in terms of the field.
So Lila G. Frederick now faced with a 1st and 14 on their own 16-yard line. They try to run the reverse that time to Montero, and he's bottled up in the backfield. Yeah. Big time loss.
That time,
there on first down.
You talk about recognizing the play. Young Achievers came across. I'm not sure if it was a blitz or not. That is the middle linebacker, Darwin Soto, the middle linebacker, number 8. Watch him. You'll see on the right of your screen. It was a blitz, yes. It was a blitz. Came straight across, under control. Also had this cornerback coming up to help him out.
Yeah, that was Memphis Vicente.
That was Memphis, yeah. Memphis hasn't carried the ball yet, so he says, let me get into something.
Right. Gotta get in the action
I
somehow.
Get the feel of this game.
Right.
I'm telling you, I'm still surprised he hasn't touched the ball yet. I mean, they did have like 6 plays in their first drive, but they used him as a decoy.
So big time loss there on second down. 2nd and 22 now for Lila G. Frederick. Clock winding down to the end of the first quarter. We'll see if they can get a playoff. And they just do. They try to hand it off. And Sanchez looking for some room, but he is again gang tackled. Good job one more time by Young Achievers bringing down the big running back.
It almost seems that Young Achievers don't think that Frederick's going to throw the ball this deep in their own territory. Look at it. Everybody's all around the ball. Gang tackling again. Woods coming up from the secondary. And the first quarter, no score.
So that will do it here at White Stadium for the first quarter of the Middle School Football Championship. No score just yet. We'll see if Darnell Woods and the Young Achievers get the football back and put up some points right after these messages. Don't go away.
Green hat. Red hat. Oops. Red shirt, blue shirt, yellow shirt. Oops. Yellow pants, red pants, green pants. Oops.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework.
He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Welcome back to White Stadium in Jamaica Plain for the BPS Middle School Football Championship. No score between the Young Achievers and the Frederick Panthers. And our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky, has got an update for us before we start the second quarter. Seth, what do you have?
Guys, it's been a good start thus far for the Young Achievers, and one of their biggest strengths is their tackling. After not doing so well in the first play that was called back for an illegal block in the back, they've done a really nice job limiting any kind of rushes we've seen from this Frederick side. The other thing, they only have 5 subs, but they're using their bench effectively. A lot of track kids I talked about in the open, so they don't necessarily need to be subbed out as frequently as you'd see from a normal team that maybe doesn't have as many players in that kind of shape. Guys, take it away.
Thanks very much, Seth. So we know that the Young Achievers have been practicing a lot this season. Despite the games only starting mid-October, they started practice early September.
As if it was going to be a full season. So they've actually, like you said, been out in the field a lot.
3rd and 21 now for the Frederick Panthers. 3 backs in the backfield. They go with the direct snap. And just a short pickup there on 3rd down. Might have gotten a yard. Not a lot of room there for the Panther running backs.
Tell you, again, just as Seth mentioned, the quickness left to your screen, you'll see them converge and nice one-on-one tackling. That was Corona again, Fraylin Corona. A lot of the 8th graders on this Young Achievers team, even though they only have 16 players in uniform. So punt formation for Frederick.
St. Ange back to punt. And he's able to get off a pretty good kick as AC Soriano taking it down the right sideline on the punt return. Jalen Soriano then dragged down inside the 10. Very nice return from Soriano.
Nice aggressive play by Soriano. That ball was tricky. It bounced. Watch, he's able to get it on the second bounce and in stride, able to hit that sideline. Excellent return by Soriano.
Soriano's hurt.
Well, watch the tackle. He gets spun around, and as he goes down,
his right knee.
A little twist to that right leg. Well, just to mention, they only have 16 players in uniform.
And Soriano is not one of the players that
you can't
they
lose
can
him.
lose.
He plays both ways. Like he has obviously special teams with the punt return.
He did get up, and then he sort of kind of felt a slight
got to be safe.
twitch, I'm sure.
Coaches always, especially in this young age, always tell you, be safe. Listen, if something feels funny, just go back down.
So they take a look at Soriano here. Looked like his right knee might have gotten twisted around a little bit. Hopefully it's nothing too serious as they do help him up. Looks like he might be okay. Sometimes, especially with the younger guys, you're just not used to getting banged up, injured. So you don't, because we see it in high school.
It all
and
feels
those guys
funny.
have played a lot longer.
Everything feels. And these guys, like we mentioned in the open, their bodies aren't even developed that well.
Right.
You see him.
Probably he has to come out for play, I believe, because they did have to have a stoppage in time to attend to his injury. So he'll be out for at least one play, maybe a couple.
Yeah, it's like a high tackle that sort of bounced him down to the turf. But his huge return has put his offense inside the 10-yard line of Frederick. So obviously, biggest scoring opportunity for either team so far. We've seen Woods out of the quarterback spot do most of the running. Now is when you might see Memphis get the ball. And the side looks like he's trying to sort of shake it off.
So first and goal for Young Achievers from the 8-yard line. Man in motion is, and that's going to be a false start on the Young Achievers.
Yeah,
Freyland Corona.
I was wondering about that long count. We see it every year.
Yeah.
Middle school kids, they're just too anxious. You go with a really long, the longer the count goes, the more chance you have left to your screen. You'll see him come out of his stance, 76, right there. And
Corona also moving. If you give those guys a little too long to really think about
that's the thing. That's exactly what it is. I'm going to hit him. I'm going to hit him. Let me hit him. When can I start?
Why are you making me wait so long?
We laughing about it, but some middle school coaches literally will not use long snaps just for that, long counts, just for that same reason. It can get predictable if you're only going on either one or two, but for the sake of not having these penalties. And they did it again.
They're going to back up another 5 yards. So going from the 8-yard line to the 18-yard line on these two plays.
Without a snap.
Ball start. Offense.
And what really makes it worse, in this case, the Young Achievers, these kids, they're not even. It's not like they're shooting out to make a block. They're just coming out of their stance. He has to get older to start playing high school. The first move is going to be a thrust forward, but that's not. They're not even doing that at this point. Two big breaks for Frederick's defense as they now just have to defend 18 yards. There's still goal to go. They can't get a first down.
Young Achievers now from the 18-yard line. First and goal. Man in motion again is Vicente. And now it's Woods rolling to his left. And he's got a lot of space down the left sideline. Darnell Woods to the end zone. Touchdown. Young Achievers Knights.
Yeah, I'm not sure what.
Darnell Woods on the carry.
Usually in middle school or Pop Warner, young players like this, the wide side of the field always gets protected first. This is the opposite here. Is Frederick, for some reason, they're all in chase mode right now. We've seen Woods, one of the fastest players in this game, goes in untouched.
So Woods with the 18-yard touchdown run. He gets the first points on the board here in the 2017 Middle School Football Championship. Young Achievers now looking to convert a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, after he'll tell his lineman, don't worry about the penalties. I'll make that for you. Get it all back in one play.
Once again, it's Corona in motion, and they must have had another player moving at the same time with an illegal procedure.
So they've got to just go to a quick count. This long cadence is really giving the offense a tough time. And the kids are just too anxious. I mean, you're playing a championship game, and like you said, they haven't played each other during the season, so they're new players, and they're still thinking about their assignments. Am I doing this right? Am I in the right place? And the longer you give a young kid a chance to think about something.
Sure. We see that at the high school and collegiate level as well. So now from the 7-yard line, it'll be Young Achievers trying for the 2-point conversion. Again, it's Woods trying to get to the outside. This time he's strung out.
Runs out of room, right.
And tackled in the backfield by Sanchez.
Yeah, it makes you think there had to have been a mistake on the touchdown run because he had plenty of room. This time on this one, actually, it looked like he twisted his ankle, sort of pulled up. He's been the star of the game so far.
Yeah, 84 yards on 7 rushes in this game so far for Darnell Woods out of the quarterback position. He has his Young Achievers on top 6-0 here with 6:52 left to go in the second quarter. That whole score and drive right there was facilitated by that great punt return by Soriano. So with the 6-0 lead for the Young Achievers, our sideline reporter Seth Orensky, he's got an update for us down on the field. Seth?
Thanks, guys. We saw the Young Achievers' Jalen Soriano go down after that big punt return, holding on to his right leg. It wasn't the first time that he'd injured that leg. On the first play of scrimmage, the play that was called back when they were on defense, he was actually stepped on with the cleat. So he's been dealing with the injury. It's a good news, though. He appears to be okay. He's fighting off the injury, and he should be back for this next defensive series. Guys?
Thanks very much, Seth. So good to see Soriano. Will probably be back in there.
Yeah, like as I mentioned earlier, he's the free safety, which is the final guy back for the defense.
Last man of defense.
Yeah, one of their better tacklers.
Kick fielded right around the 38-yard line by the Frederick Panthers. Another nice return for Lila G. Frederick, being shoved out of bounds by the Panthers. Again, number 16. We don't have his number on the roster. We'll see if we can get that later on in this game.
You see the return. Did a good job to split the two defenders there and a little stiff arm to add another 5 yards to his return. And now Frederick starting out a good position. 40-yard line of Young Achievers.
On the kickoff return.
Okay, Leggett, who we had as 40, is 16. Jaden plays safety on defense. And nice kick return.
So Jaden Leggett with that nice return. Frederick now taking over at the Young Achievers 41, and we have a whistle before the action even starts. It might have been one of those plays where a player was sort of out of position and the referees corrected them before anything could get going. Now on first down, it's St. Ange who cuts it back up himself. Looked like it might have been an option play.
I was going to say, right.
He picked up 6, though, on first down.
Had his halfback in motion, wingback in motion rather, could have handed it off to him or kept it. Decided to keep it. Nice gain on first down.
See the quarterback, Jonathan St. Ange, for the Frederick Panthers.
Both teams using shotgun the whole game so far.
Just under 6 minutes to go here in the second quarter. And this time it's Sanchez getting the carry, but he's dragged down in the backfield.
So you're coming through. Again, that one-on-one tackling. Soto, Darwin. Third time we've called his name.
He sheds
defensively.
a blocker. Well, Coach Barros mentioned that he is the man in the middle for the Young Achievers. He's their best linebacker, makes a lot of tackles.
Well,
really leads the defense. We're seeing that
clearly
here in the first half.
He's able to recognize and then pursue, because that's, like I said, the third time we've called his name. That's excellent pursuit, because he is, like, I'm looking at him set up now. He is in the middle. Actually, he's now comes down to the wing, so they're moving him around. He's more of a defensive end this play.
Now on third down, it's St. Ange, who's fouled up in the backfield. Nowhere to go after the low snap.
Yeah, he's upset because the snap was low. It didn't give him a chance to get into the play.
We also have a correction on number 16 for Frederick. As here, we'll see the replay at first.
Oh, see the ball. Actually, that was Ange's fault. The ball did come straight to him.
Yeah, he's upset at himself. So number 16 for the Frederick Panthers is actually Anthony Johnson.
That's Johnson? Okay.
So we will make that correction. And on our end, Anthony's had some nice returns on special teams, so I want to make sure we get his name right.
Yeah. Yeah, Frederick has to just get their heads back in the game. I mean, they've had their first series, they had those 2 penalties, then the turnover. Now, when they're trying to answer the touchdown by Young Achievers, they keep going backwards. I mean, it's got to be frustrating for the coaches. First of all, like you mentioned before, only a short season, just 4 games, but they did win all 4 games. Came into this championship game considered, I guess, a little bit of a favorite because they're a bigger team, more players in uniform, more substitutions, a bunch of 8th graders against the Young Achievers who, like we said, only have 16 players in uniform for today's game. But Young Achievers are just playing a cleaner game so far. Much fewer penalties and fewer mistakes, basically. I mean, other than those 2 procedure penalties right before the touchdown, Young Achievers have been doing well.
It almost seems like Young Achievers who have kept it a little more basic
Very
offensively,
simple, real simple.
Have been more successful and more efficient on offense for that reason.
Well, I was mentioning, I was looking at the notes, and one of the coaches did say that they actually tried some trick plays in the game last week, and they didn't work. Right. So we're not going to see them today.
Right. That probably is having that short season.
You still win the game. You try these plays, they weren't great, but you still win the game. Right. But then you tell the kids, okay, listen, forget that stuff.
Yeah. So, even though we won, we're not going to do that again.
Tear those pages up.
St. Ange tossing it over the left side. He had Montero.
Actually had 2 players open.
But wasn't able to connect. It was a nice design play.
I'm not sure he was going to, because you're right, the design was, if either one of them could have made the catch, they would have had enough room for the first down. He floats it. Yeah, see, he has a player coming from the middle, then he has wide receivers streaking down the sideline. So Young Achievers got a break that time because the ball was just overthrown. They'll take over. Let's see what Woods is going to do. So far, Woods has controlled the game. I mean, the first quarter, he was able to keep a drive alive on that 4th down with a 26-yard run. Then, of course, he has the only score of the game. Bunch formation again. They've not been hesitant to throw the football.
Now on 1st down, it's Woods rolling to his
Keep
right.
Yeah.
He's been doing it on the left side most of the game, but Woods scampering his way down to the 40. So a 15-yard pickup that time for Darnell Woods, who's over 100 yards here in the first half.
Well, it's interesting what they do. They have the bunch formation here to the wide side. It's a designed run, but in front of him are his 3 wide receivers. So they're out there throwing blocks. Look what he does right here. Instead of going out of bounds, cuts back inside and adds another 3 or 4 yards to the carry.
.330 left to go here in the second quarter. Young Achievers on top 6-0 and now driving down the field once again, looking for more before halftime.
Woods has got to be one of the track guys that Seth was talking about.
He
He runs the sideline every play, and then most of the plays are him carrying the ball. So he's running up, down, side, north, south, and east, west. Got to snap the ball.
Woods now on 1st down again trying to get to the edge and almost had a great block near the sideline. Woods driven out of bounds after a gain of 6. Nice tackle there from Isaiah Montero.
I'll tell you, give some credit to Soto. Darwin this time prevents a block in the back by avoiding right of your screen. You might see him there right there. So he avoided it because otherwise it would have been a block in the back if he made contact.
So pickup of 7 there on 1st down. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Yeah, it looks like we might have a timeout here.
Yeah, Frederick called timeout defensively.
2:46 left to go before halftime.
Yeah, I think it's the Frederick defense. The coaches just have to tell them, stay in your area. Do not get overly aggressive. I mean, Woods is rolling out as if it's a pass-run option, but he's not. He's only throwing the ball from the pocket, so he's not rolled out and throwing the ball yet. When he rolls out, he always runs. But the space gets created because with his threat of the pass, you have the defenders backing up downfield for coverage. He takes advantage of that opening.
We've seen a few times, too, where one of the receivers for Young Achievers goes in motion
right
away from where Woods is going to run to. So that usually carries the defender to the opposite side of the field, opens
that
things up.
That may have been what
Woods.
happened in the first half because that first touchdown, because that Frederick usually plays more solid defense than that. I mean, that wasn't covered at all. He didn't get touched. He went the entire 18 yards. Well, actually 25 yards because he's in a shotgun, about 7 yards deep. Ran that one to the wide side of the field. Never got touched defensively. Good to see more fans showing up as the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders looking for a championship. This
now on
Soto.
2nd down, it's Soriano trying to get to the edge.
Nice
He
job.
does. And Jalen Soriano dragged out of bounds at the 22. So a 12-yard pickup there, another 1st down for Young Achievers, and that stops the clock going out of bounds.
Yep, that leg, like Seth was saying, looks like he's back in action. Look at him. Good wide strides and stop and go. 1st down, and Johnson gets him out of bounds, but not till Young Achievers with the 1st down.
Lila G. Frederick is missing a couple of players here tonight. As there you see Darnell Woods, the quarterback for Young Achievers. Started out the season as a starting running back, but because of the way that Young Achievers couldn't throw the ball very well, they were hitting it in practice, but when they get to a game time situation, their pocket passer, who they had a quarterback, wasn't able to connect with any of the receivers. Is that one?
Yeah, one of the few mistakes we've seen them. I'm not sure if he had a different snap count because it looked like he wasn't looking for the ball and it just sort of went right by him. Good job to be alert enough to keep possession, but a huge loss though.
So 13-yard loss on that play. It'll be 2nd down and 23 for the Young Achiever Knights. Clock winding down, well under 2 minutes now before halftime. Once again with the bunch formation at the top of your screen are the Young Achievers. And Woods this time looked like he was going to throw it. Now going to tuck it in and run, but he has nowhere to go. He's wrapped up in the backfield once again by Sanchez. So Xavier Sanchez really getting it done defensively for Lila G. Frederick.
Right, that time they took away all the angles. 8, right of your screen, you'll see him coming. He's right there and still stays with the play as you see no chance at all, no running room. But to be honest with you, I think Young Achievers is fine with this. I mean, they have. I don't think they have a problem going into halftime 6-0 with the lead.
They'll also get the ball to start the 3rd quarter as Frederick won the toss and received to start the game. So Young Achievers now faced with a 3rd down and 26.
Oh, we've seen them throw the ball deep downfield, so it's not a matter of whether they can get it in the air. It's just a matter of whether they want to take the chance or not.
Woods again out of the shotgun, again looking to find some running room down the sideline. And a good open field tackle that time from Montero and from Sanchez.
Yeah, see, that time you saw aggressive play by Frederick defensively. Yeah, this is the same play he's been running the entire game, but again, the cornerback's going to come up, make the first hit, then he'll get gang tackle to the end.
So Young Achievers calls a timeout here. 21 seconds left to go before the half. 4th and 23 for the Young Achievers Knights.
Well, they told us we wouldn't see any trick plays, so I think they'll probably stick to that. But they try to go downfield with the pass a couple of times in the 1st quarter, so maybe they're going to try one of those to see if they can get everybody on the same page.
I mean, we've seen Jalen Soriano run the football a few times here, but with that height, I mean, he's one of the tallest kids on the field. Yeah. They might want to send him down one of the sidelines and just throw it up to him. I mean, Woods certainly has the arm. We saw it in the 1st quarter.
The cornerbacks for Fredericks don't have much height. So you're right. You could catch a size mismatch. And here we see, Soriano's going to split out here to the right in front of us. Let's see what the coverage looks like for Frederick.
So 4th down and 23 now for Young Achievers Knights. 21.9 seconds left to go before halftime. Man in motion. Back to throw for Young Achievers, and the ball is caught that time by Vicente. Memphi Vicente. Going to be dragged down at the 17.
His first catch, first touch of the football, but he's going to be short, so Frederick will take over. It's 7 seconds to go before halftime. Time for one play.
So that was Elijah Fernandez.
Yeah, I was going to say new quarterback in there.
And he was the quarterback that originally was going to start for the Young Achievers. More of a pocket passer. Actually got hit as he threw.
Yeah, Memphi made the play because the ball was thrown short. He's trying to give some ground to get the first down, but here we got one of the Frederick players shaking up is going to come out, one of their linemen.
Might be Kanye Neal coming off the field there for the Frederick. Shaking up a little bit. Could be his ankle. The Frederick Panthers looking to possibly do something here with just 7 seconds left to go. They get it out to Montero. He makes the catch. Montero now going back to the middle of the field, and time is going to run out. He was looking for some kind of space there before the half, but unable to stay on his feet. He had the sideline.
You see the replay. Look, yeah, you're right, Pay. He did have the sideline. For some reason, he tried to cut it back inside. Yeah, into the half.
So at the half here at White Stadium in the 2017 BPS Middle School Football Championship, the Young Achievers Knights lead the Frederick Panthers 6-0. And so far here in the first half, it's been Young Achievers who have kept to basics and defensively, and then offensively kept it simple. And that's why they have the lead.
No doubt. I mean, the 18-yard touchdown run after 2 penalties, 6-0. That's the only scoring we've had. And like you said, the defense by the Young Achievers, that's been the most impressive part of the first half.
No question. Young Achievers really bottling up the speed of this Frederick Panthers football team. And meanwhile, for the Frederick Panthers offensively, they just really haven't been able to get anything going.
It's frustrating because they made some mistakes that really hurt themselves a lot. Had a big 35-yard run in one of the first plays of the game, called back on the block in the back. And like you said, it wasn't even part of the play. It was the other side of the field. So those are the killers.
No question. The head coach of the Young Achievers, Coach Barros, is down on the field with our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky. So, Seth, take it away.
Joined by Young Achievers coach Jojo Barros. Coach, you lead at the half. You're playing a team that has trailed in every game and has come back. So how do you keep the focus on you're playing well, but that you can't let down against a very strong team?
Keep doing exactly what we're doing our job, staying where we need to stay. Everybody's committed. I got to keep them committed. Go in there and make sure that they're focused. We'll come back 0-0 at the half. That's the way I'm going to look at this. We're only up 6. It's not enough. That's it.
Darnell Woods has been really good, especially getting outside. He scored your lone points. What have you thought thus far about your quarterback?
He's playing phenomenal like he has all year. He is a tremendous athlete. We're going to try to get him some breaks and see if we can actually connect on some deep passes in the second half.
Defensively, you got that early turnover, and since then they haven't been able to do anything. What do you need to do in the second half to keep them off the board?
We need to continue doing what we're doing. We need to, like I said, play our game. We need to be focused, stay committed, and stay where we're supposed to be and do our job. That's it. We do it. We are focused. We're going to finish this game off the right way.
Thanks so much for your time, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Coach JoJo sounds a little bit like Belichick. If they do their job, we'll see if they can come away with the title after this.
Thanks very much, Seth. I'm sure Coach Barros would like to have the success of Bill Belichick, especially. And his team is in very good shape here at the half, up 6-0. And
they get the ball, too, to start the third quarter.
That's right. They get the ball to start the third quarter, and you got to think you're going to see a little more of Darnell Woods.
Oh, no doubt. And I like hearing the coach say that they want to take some shots downfield with the long passes. Sure. Let the kids have some fun. Let them get excited. Every time a big play in any sport happens, kids this age get super charged up, and then they're really ready to listen then.
No question. Doesn't matter how cold it is or anything like that. They're going to listen to the coach if they see a big play like that.
You got to be impressed. I mean, we expected penalties because kids are nervous, here at White Stadium. Now, some of these kids, because they used to have Pop Warner down up here, so some kids have actually played here. But it's still a big atmosphere. You're playing for a championship. Like we said, Frederick's been around 3 of the last 5 years. Meanwhile, Young Achievers not as much success, but there's a chance for them to start something big for their school.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of halftime adjustments these two teams can make and how they come out to start the third quarter. As we mentioned, Young Achievers gets the football. Now, we mentioned how we like to see these young guys here early on so that when we see them in high school, it's not the first time we've seen them out on the field. Well, that certainly happens on the basketball court. And 2 guys especially that we saw in the BNBL and then saw later on at the high school level were the Mitchell twins, Charles and Charlie. So we'll take a look at their story right now.
And the New Mission Titans are the Division II state champions. What a run for the Titans here this season.
For almost a decade, the New Mission Titans have been one of the most dominant high school basketball programs in Massachusetts. They've captured 4 state titles in 7 seasons, using a powerful and aggressive style of play, thanks to the sheer size and strength of their players.
New Mission was at a point where we were still very new to the city. And folks didn't really necessarily, they ain't embrace that. We had a style of play that was just sort of like rough, tough. We had these big brutes in the paint.
But over the last couple of years, that sentiment for the Titans has changed. thanks in large part to the arrival of the Mitchell twins, Charles and Charlie.
When these two guys came along, they just made us more likable. Now here comes these kids who just can't stop smiling and won't shut up.
But don't let the Mitchell's infectious personalities fool you. As soon as Charles and Charlie step on the basketball court, their aura changes from basketball darlings to hardwood pests.
You know, here comes Charles and Charlie. So everyone knows what's going to happen. There's going to be turnovers on the other team. There's going to be a lot of noise.
We both yell a lot, like talk. We love to talk, yell, run, like just push the pace, cause havoc on the court. That's what we just have. It's our mentality.
Charles and Charlie's success in the court is fueled by their tireless work ethic, which they've learned from their mom, Paula.
I work nights, 6 at night till 6 in the morning. So they watch me struggle to go, and I go every day. I don't miss a day. So they see if my mother can do it and she can do it and raise us with this struggle, we can do it too.
Paula is also the one who sparked her son's interest in the game of basketball, even though she had to sacrifice her landscaping in the process.
I had them play black basketball as little kids in the yard. We played on that little miniature little play thing. Last year I had to throw away the basketball hoop in the yard just so they could stop practicing tearing up my side on my wall.
But where their mother has influenced her twin sons the most is in the classroom, where the Mitchells have consistently made the honor roll.
We all both honor roll students. We've been having that since, I don't know, like our whole life we had honor roll. My mom got us into that mentality, go to school every day, never missed a day. Yeah, she's been on it since day one.
They have to do school. You have to go to school. Some kids don't like school, but Charles and Charlie, as they were growing up, oh, they become to love school. I don't even have to wake my kids up. They get up every morning and go to school on their own. There's no turning over. When I come in the house, they're already gone.
Despite their shared success, there are differences between Charles and Charlie, both on and off the court.
The differences on the court is that Charles really wants to score, and Charles is going to get his points. Charles is the kind of kid that will hunt his shot down. Charlie wants to facilitate, make sure everybody's happy. He takes care of himself with a jump shot here and there.
I'm more like the quiet one. People say he's more like the excited, like he's always around people. I just be to myself sometimes, and I just do like my own thing. He on the other hand, he's like the talking one. He makes sure everybody's together.
But no matter how different they act or play the game that they love, it can still be difficult to distinguish between the two, especially considering they share a similar name.
My dad, actually, his name is Charles Mitchell, so he's a senior, I'm a junior, and he wanted both of us to have his name, and my mom was cool with that.
Their dad's name is Charles, so I had to name both of them after him, and I couldn't spell the same name, so I put them differently, Charles and Charlie.
When we work, I'll go in the back and he'll come out, and then the person I was helping would be like, you change clothes? Like, where's my sneakers? All the time, and then when I come back out, then they'd be like shocked, like, you got a twin brother?
I would sub one out, and I didn't know which one. Go get your brother. And the brother's like, hey, you just put me in. It's not, I'm Charles, I'm Charlie.
What also makes it difficult is that Charles and Charlie are always together, creating a special bond that helps the twins when they're together on the basketball court.
We practice together, we always together, so on the court, it's like we know where we at. So like when I'm on a fast break, I'll be like, Charlie, I'm in the corner. And he'll be like, my brother's in the corner, so he'll pass it to me. When I'm with my brother, I feel like me and him, it's like we could do everything together.
The twins continue to be double trouble for opposing backcourts, and double the stress for their mom watching in the stands.
Me and my brother would fall all the time, like anything. It could be like, I'm trying to dive for the ball, she'll be in the crowd, she'll be like all the time. She would just, oh my, I just look at her, like, I just happen to look at her when I'm getting up. She'd be like,
I'm on edge of the seat when I'm watching the game. It's like, oh, please just do what you gotta do. Don't get hurt.
Entering their senior season, the Mitchell twins are the unquestioned leaders of New Mission, and will look to add more hardware to an already crowded trophy case. But even if 2017 doesn't result in another state title for the Titans, Charles and Charlie will still leave a lasting legacy that extends well beyond the New Mission basketball court.
All of my former players they always say, hey, we were the best, until they come see Charles and Charlie play. It really just comes from their level of communication with and how they treat people. They treat people, their mom has just done a tremendous job because they treat people, they treat everybody like their best friends. And this being my last year coaching at New Mission, you know, honestly, I was going to stop coaching at New Mission at the end of last year. And I just looked at those two guys and I was like, if I'm stepping down, I want to step down with the two highest character kids that ever walked through the doors of this program.
There you have it, Charles and Charlie Mitchell. They were a lot of fun to watch at New Mission, and they graduated this past season. But they're not going to be too far away from us.
They're playing
playing
at UMass
over
Boston.
at UMass. So
Yeah.
both of them, they wanted to be together, so they're both together now at UMass. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch them in the college ranks after watching them at the high school level. Let's take a look at our halftime stats here at the 2017 BPS Middle School Football Championship. And first up, it's the Lila G. Frederick Panthers.
Yeah, for Frederick, they've got to be disappointed. You see 11 yards and then 1 yard for Leggett. Receiving, they had an 8-yard pass, 1 for 2 for St. Ange. St. Ange was really frustrated as he wanted to get the ball downfield.
Yeah, you wonder if they might go back to that pass to Montero.
I'm sure they will.
He was open.
I'm sure they will. Young
There's Young
Achievers,
Achievers.
meanwhile, it's been all Darnell Woods. 12 carries, 93 yards, the only score in the game, and he's controlled the clock and the ball for Young Achievers. Soriano had nice 9 yards with 3 carries. Then receiving, he did have that 1 15-yard catch for Fernandez. He's 1 for 1. Woods hasn't completed a pass yet, but like you said earlier, we've seen him go deep downfield already in the first quarter.
Yeah, and Woods, we saw there in the first half, had an outstanding job running the football. We'll see if we can get some highlights of him from the first half, as he was excellent getting to the edge.
Yeah, 24. One of the track guys. We mentioned the fact that Seth mentioned the fact that there are a bunch of track guys on the Young Achievers team, and Woods clearly one of them, as he was able to get outside. It's supposed to be an option play, but as you can see, once he tucks it in as a designed run, this is the one on this is the 4th down and 20 that he was able to get 26 yards and keep the drive alive. A miscue here is they had a bad snap. He still made something out of nothing. And this one here is the touchdown, the one score of the game, as he's able to skirt that wide side of the field. So again, he'll go both sides, either way. Another big gain for him, and like I say, he's controlled the game the entire way on offense for the Young Achievers.
There you see Darnell Woods, 93 yards in the first half. We'll see if he can keep it going here in the second half, as Young Achievers will receive to start off the third quarter. Lila G. Frederick will be kicking the football. Back to receive is Jalen Soriano for the Young Achievers Knights. And it's a low squib kick that does have to be fielded right around the 25-yard line. That's Vicente bringing it back for Young Achievers. Or excuse me, that's Corona bringing the return back to about the 36-yard line. Make that the 37. So Fraylin Corona on the return for the Young Achievers Knights.
You see him as he's able to, he's waiting to see if the ball's going to go out of bounds. It sort of died, so he picked it up. Nice one-on-one tackle right here. So a 37-yard line. Good chance, good place to start for Young Achievers. It's interesting how Young Achievers, they snuck Fernandez in there for that one pass late in the second quarter before halftime. And you might see a little bit more of that.
So Young Achievers plays for the 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. And it's Woods back to throw. This time he's got Soriano.
He stopped running.
Yeah, if he kept running with the...
He stopped running. Soriano, I don't know, maybe he thought that Darwin couldn't get it out there because he'd beaten the cornerback, but you see him sort of more of a fling than an actual pass. But yeah, he stopped running, turned around, and had the ball fly over his head.
That's one of the toughest things for a receiver to learn, too, is how to adjust to the flight of the ball while it's into the air. When you're a young guy like that, it's so hard. And the wind is swirling. I mean, it's not super cold tonight, but
that's one of the factors, though.
No question. Folks, if you want to follow us on social media, you can certainly go to Facebook and search for Game of the Week here in Boston. A lot of good stuff on our Facebook page. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. Young Achievers after that incomplete pass, now faced with a 2nd down and 10 from their own 37-yard line. Once again, Corona, the man in motion. It's Woods again back to throw, this time over the middle of the field, and he can't quite hook up with either of his receivers.
I'd say Frederick's got to be concerned. Their safeties are getting, for some reason, they're coming up to the line of scrimmage, and then the receivers are running by them. Like you meant, that time, definitely the wind took that one away, as you see 2 of the Young Achievers receivers behind the secondary.
It was Memphi Vicente and Darwin Soto out in the deep pattern there for Young Achievers. So 2 incomplete passes, and now the Knights are faced with a 3rd down and 10.
Well, the safest play they've had so far is the option. As Darwin is a run either way, either right or left, doesn't matter. He'll take either side. Wide side of the field is to his right on this play.
Again, a bunch formation for Young Achievers. Soriano, the lone back in the backfield again. It's Corona, the man in motion. Woods fumbles the snap early on, then eludes one tackler. Woods makes his way inside the 35 to the 33. Close. He is right on the first down marker. They're probably going to have to, no, they're going to give it to him.
It's first down.
He got the first down.
Good run again. He's able to corral the low snap. Knows he has to just run under this one and do a little tricky move there. But I like the way he just is able to get as much as possible out of the sideline before he's forced out of bounds. That last little step actually gave him the first down. You're seeing with the head coach getting the play. You know, it's interesting, Pat. We came in the game expecting to see a lot of Memphi Vicente, but he's been a blocker, he's been a decoy, and Woods has been pretty much the entire offense.
So out of the 16 runs, it's been Woods carrying the ball 13 of those 16 times. So very much the focal point of the offense for Young Achievers, who now have a first down at the Lila G. Frederick 38-yard line after the 10-yard run by Woods. Woods now looking for his receiver. It's Soriano who catches it in the flat.
Nice cut.
Makes a nice move.
Cut. Wow.
Soriano down the sideline. He'll be wrestled down right around the 30, but another nice pickup there for the Young Achievers Knights, a gain of 23. They're on first down.
I'd say it looked like Soriano's going to get a lot more than that, but coming back into the play to make that tackle. Watch how it's just like a screen. Those long strides again, but he's going to get grabbed, wrapped up. It looked like he was going to hit the sideline and go. So yeah, for some reason, the pass coverage for Frederick, they've found a lot of holes, Young Achievers. That screen pass gave, like you mentioned, gave Soriano a lot of open field, but those downfield passes are a concern because at some point, Woods is going to hit one of those.
So first completion for Woods. He has 6 attempts on the night. 1st and 10 for Young Achievers from the Lila G. Frederick 30. On first down, it's Woods again going to the air, that time over the middle. It's intercepted. Wow. Intercepted by Montero. Isaiah Montero down the sideline. He's dragged down at the 48. Big time play for Lila G. Frederick.
It was, and I'll tell you, that time the safeties played it right. They backed up and then came toward the ball. You see Montero, he's behind the receiver, read it correctly, and then tacks on a nice return.
33-yard return off the interception for Isaiah Montero, and that is exactly what Lila G. Frederick needed to get going here in the third quarter. And one of their biggest plays of the night comes on defense.
No doubt, no doubt. You see Woods upset as he was trying to, they were trying to go for the touchdown. They were trying to get the quick hit. Now you gotta shake it off because you gotta play defense now. Darwin Soto on the tackle. We've seen him play defense all evening, and now on the interception, he was able to run him down for the tackle. So let's see if this sparks the offense for Frederick. They've now gone to their I formation.
Now on first down, it's Frederick. Going to hand it off on first down, and like it might have been Johnson who got the carry there for the Panthers, but not a lot of room for him.
Not much at all. Suarez, Antonio, 66. Watch him. You'll see him coming across with that hit also. It was Corona. Tell you, saying some of the same names over and over again. That's what in middle school, a lot of times the players who can read plays defensively usually are going to be on the tackles.
You also see, especially at this level, the kids that are a little more developed physically can get to plays a little quicker, shed blockers a little easier.
Because it looks like a slight size advantage for Frederick, but hasn't really played out that way in the field so far.
1 yard pickup there on first down. Now 2nd down and 9, and first man through is Sanchez, and he picks up a couple up to the 47-yard line, make that the 46 of Young Achievers.
Again, trying to go up the middle, like you mentioned, Pat. Not a lot of room there, but use his size. Sanchez is one of the bigger players in the team, plays defensive line and running back, so they got two downs to make this 5 yards. So
3rd down and 4 now for Lila G. Frederick.
No confusion in the backfield. He's going to go to the shotgun. I don't think they want to waste a timeout here, but
St. Ange directing traffic there in the backfield. Sanchez the deep back, and now it's St. Ange looking to throw the football. Has to run away from pressure. Jonathan St. Ange going to find the first down marker. He's knocked out of bounds at the 41, make that the 42-yard line. So good job picking up the first down by the Panther quarterback.
Yeah, there definitely was some confusion on that play. Look, he thinks he's going to hand it off, and now he's forced to tuck it and run. Does a good job to get around the first defender. He sees the yard marker right in front of him. That helps. It makes sure he gets the first down before he gets pulled down. Yeah, it's one of those plays. I don't think the sideline wanted to waste the timeout because we're still in the 3rd quarter. Trust your quarterback to make the right play.
The Frederick coaches also allow their quarterback and some of their players to call plays out on the field. You see St. Ange and some of the running backs have that wristband that has plays on it. So a lot of times they do have the freedom to call a play.
Well, if they can recognize something during, if they can recognize something on a previous play, then they'll let St. Ange know.
So after that first down run from Jonathan St. Ange, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers from the Lila G. Frederick 41. They pitch it to Sanchez, who can't escape the tackle. It's going to be a
face mask. Wow. That's going to take away. It's a great play by Woods, but unfortunately he had his hand up too high. It's going to be a face mask.
15 block automatic first. 15.
Yeah, watch 24 come across, and yep, right there. Got the face mask.
What number?
I'll tell you.
Personal foul, face mask, 24 in the black. 15 spot of the foul, automatic first down.
It's too bad, too, because Woods made a terrific defensive play. I mean, Seth mentioned it in the first half that the coaches for Young Achievers really feel good about their team's ability to tackle. And we've seen a lot of one-on-one tackles so far. That was one right there, unfortunately, got his hand up too high for the face mask penalty. As you talk about a 10-yard loss turning into a first down and a 15-yard and a penalty.
Yeah, the Frederick Panthers would have been back close to midfield. Now they're at the Young Achievers 35 with a 1st and 10. This time they hand off to Sanchez again, and he is able to fight through and still gain a lot of yardage. This time he gets up to the 26. That's about an 8-yard carry.
And 5 of it was all, all running back by himself watching. We talked about his size. See, that little jump step a lot of players like to follow the throws, and to watch him just move this pile. And as long as he's going forward, the whistle's not going to blow. So a 9-yard carry after he was hit after 3 yards.
Lila G. Frederick going to call a timeout here with 2:16 left to go in the 3rd quarter. The Achievers with a 6-0 lead, but Lila G. Frederick now starting to put together a drive down the field.
We talk about emotion all the time. And the younger you get, the more emotion there is. And this is exactly what's happening. That interception and return has really gotten Frederick, got their heads back into the game, feeling like, okay, all we got to do is score. We're only down one score. We can score and actually take the lead with a conversion.
You see one of the assistant coaches drawing up a play there for the Panthers. And boy, that interception was really what they needed.
Oh, huge.
You were looking at Young Achievers. They had just completed a big play to Soriano. They were starting to make their way down the field once again to start the 3rd quarter, maybe go up 2 scores. All of a sudden it's flipped on them, and now it's Lila G. Frederick with a chance, getting close to the end zone here on the Young Achievers side of the field.
And this is a play a lot of coaches like to go with a deep pass because you have a 2nd and 1. They're already inside the 30-yard line of Young Achievers, so it's going to be 4-down territory no matter what. You might want to take a shot downfield. Because Young Achievers are bunching the line of scrimmage. It's almost as if Soriano's the only guy in pass coverage back there. But they have a tight formation, so this is the running formation for them.
Out of the shotgun, and St. Ange going to take it himself. What a block from Sanchez. St. Ange then going to scamper out of bounds at the 18, but an easy 1st down that time for Lila G. Frederick.
Injured player for Young Achievers. Come across. You see the block right there.
Yeah, Sanchez. I think that was Memphis. I think that was Darwin Soto who got shoved down in that play.
Yeah, he was knocked in the air and then hit the turf pretty hard. I hope it's just the wind being knocked out of him because he. They're looking at his right knee. His right leg. Wow. Oh, he's going to walk off on his own.
Well, that's good to see him get up off his own feet and head to the sideline. He'll come out for a play or 2. Hopefully he'll be back in there, but good to see he walked out on his
big block.
Oh, he did. Sanchez.
It's one of those things. You're in motion looking at the ball carrier. Meanwhile, you see the blocker coming at you, but you're more focused on trying to get to the ball carrier, and you basically set yourself up. Yeah. And like we said, that size, Sanchez.
He used every bit of it to make that block.
Oh yeah, that was well executed too.
1st down for Lila G. Frederick at the Young Achievers 18-yard line. It's Sanchez. He gets wrapped up in the backfield, and he pitched the football.
Lost the football,
and they lose it. It goes out of bounds. I'm not sure if it was recovered inbounds. And it's going to stay with Lila G. Frederick. My goodness.
Not sure if he actually tried to pitch it or if he fumbled it, but you see it was out of his hands. And he pitched the ball. So it was a lateral.
Yeah, he pitched it over to Montero.
But then the ball comes out of Montero's hands, but it goes out of bounds before the Young Achievers can get to it.
That thing is like a hot potato down there. So just a 5-yard pickup there off that crazy play for Lila G. Frederick. They're faced with a 2nd down and 5 from the 13-yard line. Coming up on a minute left to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, ball was fumbled out of bounds, so the fumble actually went forward to give them some yardage. Yeah, we're seeing Frederick mix their plays up now. They've gone to the I formation, they've gone to the power I, and now they're going to the single back.
Man in motion is Montero. They try to give it to him on the end around.
Oh, good job.
He is bottled up in the backfield.
Wow.
Corona in there to make the stop.
You know, every year, Pat, one of the things we say about the middle school kids, they give you full effort in every play. They make a lot of mistakes, but they always get a full effort. This is exactly what we're seeing here. Try to reverse play. Like you said, Corona able to get there first, and 3 or 4 other young achievers followed them in there. That's a big play. Now it's going to be a third. As the quarter ends, it'll be a third and like 13.
So that'll do it for 3 quarters here at the 2017 Middle School Football Championships. Young Achievers still on top by 6, but thanks to this big play by Montero, Frederick has a shot to tie it up. We'll see if they can do it here in the 4th quarter. Coming up after these words.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his
I
backpack.
can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Welcome back to White Stadium in Jamaica Plain as we're just about set to start the 4th quarter here of the 2017 BPS Middle School Football Championship. Our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky's got an update for us. Seth, what do you have?
Thanks, guys. We saw Darwin Soto of Young Achievers go down in a heap. It was a right ankle injury. He stretched it out, appears to be okay, and he's going to head out to start the 4th quarter on the field. That's big since he's the team's middle linebacker and one of their best tacklers. Guys, take it away.
Thanks very much, Seth. Another one of those injuries where sometimes the kids just don't know exactly, what happens to them when they go down like that.
And they need permission to get back in. they want to get back in, but you got, hey, wait a minute, you got to get cleared first.
Well, folks, this is not the last football game of the season for us. That is reserved for Thanksgiving morning. So make sure when you get up on Thanksgiving, we will already be here because we're getting here at about 6:30 a.m. But Eastie taking on Excel or South Boston for the 100th time here at White Stadium in Jamaica Plain. Thursday morning, 9:30 a.m. If you want to watch us on Boston City TV, that's Comcast, channel 24 on the dial. Now on 3rd down, and they pitch it to Sanchez, and he is wrapped up well behind the line of scrimmage. Just a broken
they're
play.
playing some defense, Pat. It's funny. Here we are, 4th quarter starting, 6-0 game, and so if you just turned it on, you have to wonder what kind of game it's been. This has been a lot of fun because the defense has sort of dominated the game on both sides, and we're seeing this Young Achievers team in black just trying to protect that. That's one score they have, the 1 touchdown. Swarm tackling. And it's amazing. What it comes down to, so far we've had 2 huge plays, one on offense, one on defense. Obviously, the touchdown on offense for Young Achievers and the interception in return defensively for Frederick. But the defense for Young Achievers has changed everything.
So now Frederick faced with a 4th and 25.
Got to go downfield on this one.
Here from the 33-yard line. They had that play to Matero at the end of the 2nd quarter.
Right, that sort of slip screen.
Yeah, it looked like he had some space. You're right.
Yeah, St. Ains, I don't know if he's just what you were talking about earlier, but sometimes they can make their own plays.
And St. Ains can take it himself, and he is wrapped up in the backfield.
Who was that? That was Memphis.
It's Memphis Vicente coming up with the tackle.
He came across flying. I tell you, we saw Soto knock down one of the potential blockers. I mean, there was nothing there at all.
Yeah, St. Ange had no chance on that play.
They were trying to screen pass, but he had, like you said, he had no chance to even lift his arm. Oh, yeah. You talk about a defensive series.
So that's a turnover on downs. So 32 yards lost on 3 straight plays for Lila G. Frederick. And now Young Achievers takes over at their own 45-yard line. Again, it's Woods out of the shotgun. Soriano, the deep back for the Knights. And Woods looking to take it himself. This time he's strung out. Nice block by Soriano as Woods slips a couple of tacklers and is finally
he's at the
shoved out
sideline.
of bounds.
It's the opposite side, so you can't tell how close he is, if he's out of bounds or not, but at least 9 yards.
Yeah, might have even picked up
he
a
got a first
down.
down. Yeah, he did get a first down.
Yeah, he kept those legs pumping.
So he gives ground, but he has the speed to cut it up, plants his foot. Nice block in the backfield. See, he's hit like 4-yard gain, but keeps it going. Like you said, kept those legs going. Just dove for that last yard.
You see some folks from City here to support the middle school football teams here in Boston.
Yeah, Woods has been just about all the offense for Young Achievers, and so far that's all they've needed.
Yeah, their defense has been so good. That one score.
And Woods has been part of that too. That's the thing. He's played both sides of the field.
So after that run, first down for Young Achievers. Now with the Lila G.
Fumble.
Frederick 45. Another turnover, it looks like. And yes, Frederick did recover the football, this time at the 47-yard line. So another
snap.
chance here for Lila G. Frederick.
The low snap actually hit in the leg. See, it hits right in the leg of the running back. That was Simplica. So Frederick now, another chance.
With 5 minutes and 17 seconds left in regulation.
So Frederick take over at their own 48-yard line here with 5:17 left to go in the fourth quarter.
Give Cedinho credit for that recovery on the defensive end. Plenty of time, and now it's just a matter of execution for Frederick. Like you mentioned, that last series, totally going backwards, mainly because of the aggressive defense from Young Achievers.
The Panthers with another opportunity to try to string a drive together. Now on first down, it's St. Ange handing it off in the backfield. This time it's Johnson with some room down the sideline. Johnson with another nice cut back upfield, inside the 40, up to the 35.
One of the first times all game that we've seen Young Achievers give up the edge and allow the running back to get to the sideline. Good run by Johnson. Good cut right here to get inside, and as you mentioned, he keeps his legs going. Finally brought back by Simplica.
And now Young Achievers takes the timeout here with 4:52 left to go.
Yeah, to the ground level, you'll see exactly what Johnson does. Once he gets back inside, everything straight ahead. I think this is one of these emotional timeouts for Young Achievers. The coaches just want to get the guys to settle down. Look, we're still ahead. We just need to play how we've been playing. That I'm sure that they didn't like that breakdown. Like I said, it's the first time I've noticed they've broken down on the edge and allowed Young Achievers, Frederick, to get to the outside and get a big gain like that. Because even the first play, when they had the 35-yard run that was called back, that was to the middle, then he broke outside. But this one was coming to the edge the entire time. Now Johnson's made some nice tackles on defense. He had nice special teams play.
Yeah, a couple of good returns.
Now they're going to, looks like they're going to try to ride him on offense.
So coming out of the timeout, Lila G. Frederick with a 1st and 10 from the Young Achievers 35-yard line.
We've seen a lot of blitzing from Young Achievers. I'm not sure if they want to take the chance to keep doing that now. See, they're back to the I formation.
Montero in motion for the Panthers. St. Ange, the handoff to Johnson. And this time he's got nowhere to go.
Yeah. It just appeared that for some reason you're going to see Frederick going toward Johnson, and I think the coaches for Young Achievers said, watch 16. And you're right, Pat. They wrapped him up well.
Just a short gain of 2 there on first down. Second down and 8 now for the Panthers.
Yeah, Johnson still a deep back in the eye.
Man in motion is Montero. Sanchez is the fullback. 2nd and 8 now for the Panthers. They hand off to Johnson again.
Yep, get the
again
edge.
He tries to get to the edge. Oh, he is dragged
good job.
down
Wow, it came
in
from
the
nowhere.
backfield. Soto again
Soto,
coming up with a stop.
Looked like Soto was beaten on the play. Just sort of reached out and grabbed. See, watch Johnson. Has a blocker in front. Looks like he's going to catch that edge. Soto, one arm, is able to pull him down.
Darwin Soto, certainly the team's leading tackler on Young
well,
Achievers' side.
we talked about earlier in the game how he was sort of roaming from side to side. He's listed as the middle linebacker, but in this defense, they sort of move him around. In that time, he was more of like an edge player. Because if Soto didn't make that tackle, there's plenty of room for Johnson to get to the sideline. Clock becoming a factor now. There's only three minutes to go, and timeout for Frederick. You gotta wonder if there's any confusion. They're taking a long time before they snap the balls. I don't know if there's confusion or if St. Ange is actually changing the play. But they've got to really stop being concerned about the clock. I mean, they basically have 2 downs to get the 7 yards to keep the drive going. You see the offensive coordinator talking to Frederick.
Yeah, well, we mentioned that some of the quarterback and some of the other players can call their own plays in the huddle. You know, normally at a higher level, that
smoother.
It's
smoother. Right.
And it moves faster because everybody is on the same page. With the younger guys, even though they're calling their own plays, it might take them a few seconds
I think that's what it is.
Okay, that play is this, so I have to
this
go over
formation,
here,
right?
And then I have to go hit this guy, and then he's going to come behind me. So it probably takes them a little bit longer.
And never mind if one of your linemen says, okay, where do I go on that one?
Or if the lineman says,
right.
So is it a different count? Is it a different snap?
That's the other thing, too. Yeah, I mean, these are young players. These are young players. And some of the kids have played Pop Warner, others haven't. Yeah. So it's my guess is most of these kids probably played Pop Warner because you've seen some good skills.
Coming out of the timeout, 3rd and 7. They pitch it to Johnson. Johnson to the edge, and he shoved out of bounds.
Yeah,
right around the 27.
Tried to catch.
5-yard pickup.
See, they tried to catch Young Achievers napping on the short side of the field. A lot of teams do this. But again, took the edge away. Fernandez, Elijah that time. So St. Ange may have to keep this one because they've got to get the first down. I mean, this is a huge play, more so for Frederick. Again, defensively, I'm sure Young Achievers are being told, just stay in your area. Don't over-pursue.
Fourth down and 2.
So 4th down and 2 now for the Frederick Panthers.
Better find Johnson. Yep, he's going to be behind his quarterback in the eye. St. Ange
is going to take it himself. Yep. Picks up the yardage.
Smart play by Ange. Whether that was the play or not, he saw a gap. So he was able to get the first down and keep the chains moving. Big gap in front. Yeah, it looked like they might have been short a player.
That is St. Anne's on the carry. A pickup of 6 yards. First down at the 20.
It looks like there's only 10 guys again right now for Young Achievers. Not the time to be one guy short out on the field.
A fumble.
Now on a first down, it's St. Age after the low snap, and he is wrapped up in the backfield once again at the 26.
Simplessa, yeah.
So it just seems like each time Frederick...
They react so well. It's amazing. Yeah, see, that ball just didn't come all the way up. He did recover it for possession, but it's Simplessa. Good job to come under control and wrap up.
You saw Montero in motion there. That might have even been going to him if it wasn't a fumbled snap.
See, Simplessa, number 12, comes across. You like the way they break down and they stay under control. Sometimes it's easy for me to forget these are 8th graders.
Yeah, I know. 2nd and 15. And now they direct snap it to Sanchez. Sanchez with some space. The big fella inside the 15, inside the 10. And they wrap him up at the 10.
Now, he might have called that play.
He said, enough of this stuff. I'm just going to run over some guys.
1:01 to go. Like you said, direct snap makes a difference in terms of the timing. Actually, has St. Angel on the front. He doesn't really want to throw a block, but good power move. Down to the 10-yard line. Wow, this is... Well, both teams have 3 timeouts left.
They're trying to get the chain set over on the other side of the field.
Yeah, Young Achievers wants a timeout defensively. They got to get this thing squared away. Also, timeout. Frederick may actually call that. Let me see. They both have 3 on the board. Time's wound down since just a minute and 1 second to go. So 10 yards could decide the game. Because, of course, Frederick will have the chance for the winning conversion if they can make it. Wow.
So it'll be 2nd down and 1, I believe, coming out of the timeout. He was just short of the first down. So that should be 3rd down and 1 for Lila G. Frederick.
Okay, Frederick called that timeout, so they should have 2 left now.
And that is the case.
That was Frederick's timeout. They have 2 remaining.
Okay. So Young Achievers, they've been making big plays defensively all game.
And we'll see if Soto or one of the other defenders shoots one of the gaps to try to make a stop here. 3rd down and 1.
Well, I think with the tight formation, you might see that, Pat. You might see it.
Sanchez now the deep back, and we have some early motion. I really hope not. You'd hate to see a game decided on an early motion penalty.
Yeah, that's.
I think that might be
what
we have here.
The way St. Ange is responding, it looks like it's going to be a penalty.
Timeout! Blue! No.
Oh, call another timeout. Well, it's 2nd and 1. Yeah. Yeah, it should be 3rd. They have the 2nd one on the board, but it should be 3rd and 1 because the first play was that the St. Ange lost.
59.7 seconds to go in regulation.
So it should be.
It should be 3rd down and 1. They don't have the yard markers
see
up right now. We'll see what they have.
When they pick up the marker, we'll see if they have the down correct.
From the 11-yard line of the Achievers.
Yeah, they didn't flip the down marker, so looks like Frederick can make an extra down.
So what I'm hearing from Seth down on the sideline is that Frederick was forced to just use a timeout. One of their players did not have a mouth guard in. If you don't have your mouth guard in when the play starts, you'll get a penalty. So here we go, 3rd down and 1 for the Frederick. And Sanchez with a first down and a touchdown for Lila G. Frederick. What a run from Sanchez. Ties it up here late in the 4th quarter.
Well, the big fellow, you see, gets a good blocking this time. And he just ran over the much smaller Woods to get in the end zone. Now, biggest play of the game, obviously. The 2-point conversion could decide the game. And I think you may go back to him again because he's been plowing people over.
Hand it to him again, and this time he is
defense.
wrapped up.
Wow.
So
That's
good defense
fella,
from
number
Young
8.
Achievers.
That's the middle linebacker again, Darwin Soto. Soto came across in good shape. Watch Soto 8. He's going to take away all the momentum right there. Then his friends finally came across and made the actual tackle. So that was Veal, Ernest Veal.
Frederick to kick off.
So less than a minute to go as game's tied at 6. Xavier Sanchez really took over that series. You like to see, one of your more experienced players.
We'll see if Woods can come back out and put something together. He had a heck of a first half, 93 yards on the ground. And then he actually had the turnover that got Young Achievers going a little bit here in the second half. So we'll see if he can rally and come up with something special here with just under a minute to go in the 4th.
Well, Young Achievers has some explosive players. We'll see how Frederick wants to play this kickoff. Young Achievers playing up as if they're expecting maybe an onside kick.
So that kick's going to
go out of bounds.
Young Achievers jumps on it at the 38. It was very close. Also, they could have been Frederick who recovered there. So probably a smart play that time from Young Achievers to just jump on that football.
Save possession.
Looked like it was Joshua De La Cruz who was able to jump on the football at the 38-yard line. So 50 seconds left to go. We're tied up at 6 here at the 2017 Middle School Football Championship.
First and 10 for Young Achievers.
Young Achievers with several pass attempts so far here in the second half. I'm guessing they'll go to the air again.
Yeah, you have Frederick with 2 safeties now playing deep to guard against that deep throw. No,
and early motion, that's going to back up Young Achievers.
Start, black.
Johnson actually was coming on a blitz on the play, and once he started to move, the linemen for Young Achievers also came out of their stances.
Setting up first and 15 from the 33.
That's interesting. They were definitely blitzing on that one. We'll see if they come back with it. Because you have Johnson playing like a linebacker spot, but his movement actually helped create that penalty.
First down and 15 after the false start penalty on Young Achievers. They go with the bunch formation at the top of your screen. Woods out of the shotgun, going to take it himself.
Nothing happening.
And Frederick's all over it. Woods lost yardage on that play. Getting in the backfield that time was Elijah Howard out of the defensive end spot.
Watch Howard's a little indecision. Johnson took on 2 blockers that allowed Howard to get through the middle.
There's also on the tackle, big number 82, Jeremiah Ismaeus, excuse me, who got in there on the stop. He's made several stops today for the Frederick Panthers. So Young Achievers call a timeout here with 41 seconds left, as they'll be faced with a 2nd down and at least 20, as that was a big loss on 1st down.
The officials are saying they have none left, so the scoreboard is incorrect.
Correction, Young Achievers has no timeouts left.
So Young Achievers calling their last timeout here with 41 seconds left on the clock. Well, they've tried to keep it simple. You got to think they'll maybe try some type of misdirection play.
Maybe something we haven't seen, like maybe a screen pass, but I'm not sure they want to go down the middle like they've been doing. That interception, like you said, really helped turn things around for Frederick.
2nd down and 20 from the 28.
2nd down and 20 now for Young Achievers from the 28-yard line.
So they've used this bunch formation more for blocking than receiving. And Woods, again, the ball goes through his hands.
And Woods tries to pick it up.
Oh, he has some running room
take
now.
It back down the left sideline. He's got to get out of bounds, but he is going to be tackled inbounds as his forward progress is stopped right around the 33.
Boy, he made something out of nothing on that because he could have been tackled inside the 10. Instead, he gets the ball all the way out to past the 30. Now we have you see him finishing off this run. But you're right, Pat. He would have been better off just stepping out of bounds. They have an injured Frederick player, which has actually stopped the clock for Young Achievers. Allow them to set up a play.
Yeah, looks like that's Elijah Howard down on the field.
Howard's down
for the Panthers. 27.4 seconds left to go here in the 4th quarter.
A couple of mishaps that we really didn't see that much in the first half of Young Achievers, but they've had an interception and 2 fumbles.
So Howard's going to have to head to the bench.
Okay, so
Elbinson Cedeno comes in as Howard heads to the bench, and the clock will resume running here at 21 seconds and counting for Young Achievers. 3rd down and 15. And now it's Soriano with the football, trying to make some running room. And he scampers out of bounds right around the 40-yard line.
Yep, very makeable 4th down now. It's going to be 4th and about.
It's about 4th
on the carry, pick up a 7.
Yeah.
So it'll be about 4th and 8 now for Young Achievers. The problem is just 10 seconds left.
That's maybe 2 plays if you either have an incomplete pass or an out of bounds play. Interesting call for Young Achievers, because if they give the ball up on downs, you're talking about Frederick having the ball probably around the 40-yard line of Young Achievers. Oh, I'm sorry. Both teams have no timeouts, so this might be the last play.
10 seconds left to go. It's Soriano again on the carry, and again he's shoved out of bounds, so the clock will stop. And Soriano might be hurt.
Yeah, he got shoved. You see him coming to the sideline. He's trying to cut back inside. There's just no gap. And as he's pushed, again, just came down awkwardly.
At the 44-yard line. First down and 10 for Frederick with 3.2 seconds left in regulation.
The way he's holding his left arm, what's he making? May come down his wrist or his shoulder. Now again, Soriano's he's the free safety. I mean, you're talking about Frederick obviously going to put the ball in the air for this last play in regulation. Soriano won't be in the game. Well, we'll see the kind of arm St. Ange has, as he'll have.
He will have a chance here. I mean, he's thrown a little bit short, but we haven't seen a ton of deep passes down the middle. He also hasn't had a lot of time
that's the
to
key.
throw the football. Looking at Soriano on the far side of the field, looks like he's okay, standing up, drinking some water.
First down and 10, Frederick from the 44-yard line of Young Achievers. 3.2 seconds left in regulation.
St. Ange, all the time in the world, gets it out to Johnson. Johnson with a cut down the sideline, and he's going to be brought down out of bounds. So we are heading to OT here at White Stadium in the 2017 Middle School Football Championship.
They tried the sort of the bubble screen, and yeah, Johnson, who's actually had a decent second half running the football.
So we will see how overtime works here in middle school football. As right now,
I don't know if we've had one
tied up
before,
at
have we?
6. I don't think
Yeah,
at the
not
middle school level we
Yeah.
have. You know, a lot of times these middle school games have been, you know, blowouts or a team has
Right,
blanked
yeah.
another team. We haven't seen a lot of games where teams have matched each other. And so I believe each team will start at the 10-yard line with a 1st and goal. So you essentially have 4 downs to score a touchdown from the 10-yard line. So I think Lila G. Frederick will start out with the ball. Then no matter what happens to them, then Young Achievers will get a chance to either tie or take the lead.
Yeah, in this case, this is where the conversions pretty much may decide the game, because both teams clearly from 10 yards out with 4 downs can have the ability to score, but can you make the conversion? That's the difference in the game right now, the fact that neither team could convert. A 6-6 tie.
Well, it's been Woods on the Young Achievers side who's been able to create space on the outside, and that's how they scored their touchdown. Meanwhile, Frederick, they've had a few different guys carry the football, but it was Sanchez who
once he really
plowed over
imposed
some
himself,
runners.
he really imposed himself on their touchdown drive.
So we're headed to the first overtime as Lila G. Frederick wins the toss. They elect to go first, which a lot of coaches like to do because then they know what they have to do defensively.
Right, then put the pressure on the other team also.
Sanchez, the deep back in the backfield for the Panthers. And the handoff to Sanchez. He slips out of one tackler, but cannot slip out of he's still on his feet. Sanchez finally brought down at the 9, so he picks up about a yard, but it took about half the defense to take him down.
See the size of Sanchez. Runs through 2 arm tackles. A third right there, but like you said, the gang tackling for Young Achievers finally gets him down after a gain of about a yard.
Sanchez on the pickup, 1 yard.
What makes it tough for Sanchez, that's a lot of energy. And if they want to stay with him, they had success going straight up the middle before. He looked like he took that one outside on his own. But he's going to remain the deep back in the eye.
Second down and goal now for the Panthers. Again, they hand it off to Sanchez. This time he bounces it to the outside.
Wow.
Sanchez to the end zone. Touchdown.
Got a flag
Panthers.
down for some reason. Got a hold. Well, got a holding penalty.
That is coming back. You see St. Ange just beside himself right now. You got to be kidding me.
So, well, I have to say, we have not seen a sweep that wide open all night for against the Young Achievers. So,
see if we can catch it.
See Johnson there. Oh, 12, yeah, that's it. Yep, right there.
Hey!
Definitely. Good call by a linesman. Good call, good call. That's that was the Plesser. Who's that? 12. It's Alf's.
So that'll back
George.
That'll back Lila G. Frederick up 10 yards to the 15. So second down and goal now from the 15, and now we got some movement.
Yeah, it's going to be costing 5 more yards. You talk about a seesaw of emotion. I mean, you think you just scored a touchdown. You get penalized, and now you come out and you have a procedure penalty. It's going to push you back more. So, and the biggest problem for Frederick now, this allows Young Achievers against their regular defense.
They hand it off to Sanchez again, and he is strung out towards the sideline and knocked out behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, during one of those timeouts,
Soriano was back in there and made the tackle.
I'm just going to say, during the timeout, I'm sure the coaches for Young Achievers said, listen, we're smaller, so we've got to go low. And you see, good job going low to get the thighs. Soriano, we called his name a number of times for good reason.
That'll be third down and 20.
Wow, this is well. We talked about defense really controlling the game, and the penalties for Frederick have hurt them, but they've also had a tough time with this, smaller in size defense, but very aggressive from Young Achievers.
So third and goal now from the 20-yard line for Lila G. Frederick here in the first overtime. St. Ange looking to go to the air.
Johnson's open.
Looking for Johnson down the middle of the field. Touchdown!
He was open for like 5 seconds.
Frederick. St. Ange put it right on the money.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with the coverage, but Johnson was open like 5 seconds before he threw the ball. Plenty of time.
Nice ball there from St.
Right.
Ange. Johnson.
Good concentration by Johnson.
Going up and getting it.
Now, key play like we talked about. We talked about the conversion being so key.
So Anthony Johnson with a 20-yard touchdown reception from Jonathan St. Ange, and now, like you mentioned, 2-point conversion.
Now, if Frederick has to take a timeout, they have some confusion on their side. Yeah, a little mix-up in the defensive backfield for Young Achievers because Johnson just swung out of the backfield and he's just wide open.
Boy, what a game we've had here at White Stadium. Going into overtime.
Unexpected place.
Yeah, no question.
You're talking
Which
about.
is to be expected.
Well,
it's
there you go.
school.
Right. Middle school. I mean, you have a.
Expect the unexpected
overtime,
for these young guys.
3rd and 20, and throw a touchdown pass.
Including that touchdown pass, Jonathan St. Ange is now connected on 3 passes in a row for Lila G. Frederick.
Pressure on young Achievers to try to prevent this conversion. They tried the big fella last time. He got stopped.
Sanchez, the lone back in the backfield. St. Ange fakes it to Sanchez. St. Ange going to take it. No, he throws it in to Montero for the 2-pointer.
First time we saw that rollout play from St. Ange.
Jonathan St. Ange.
Well-designed play. Well-designed play.
Connecting on the run to Montero.
Watch St. Ange made the fake. Good job under control. Fakes the run, then finds his receiver wide open.
Not sure if anybody noticed on that play, but St. Ange did not have his mouthpiece in as he converted that pass. I think that got by the referees on that play. Normally that is a penalty. Surely hate to see a game decided on a penalty like that, so maybe they let it fly.
Let's see what Young Achievers can if they can respond. If they're down 14-6. Well, Woods has been the guy.
No question. He was the one who scored the touchdown in the first half. So Woods and Soriano in the backfield. Woods flips it out to Soriano. Soriano to the edge. Soriano towards the pylon, and he gets jammed out of bounds right at the 2.
The 2? Yeah.
And Soriano is taking some shots here tonight.
Looks like he's shaking up. He tried to tiptoe into the end zone, so he was off balance when he got hit. Let's see when he gets to the corner near the pylon in orange. He's trying to tiptoe in the end zone. See right there. That's how he gets hit so hard. Actually, it's close to the 3 or 4 yard line.
Yeah, Xavier Sanchez getting over there to make the hit.
Soriano for a 7-yard gain. Ball plays at the 3-yard line. Get down and go to go.
So it'll be 2nd and goal for Young Achievers as once again as Soriano get looked at. Took another hard spill down on the field.
Yeah, he has had a rough game. You're right. It's almost like every time he goes to the sideline, he gets bumped out of bounds. But that time he was, like I say, he was trying to stay in bounds, to sort of tip, like a high wire act along the sideline without going out of bounds, and that threw him off balance as he was getting hit. And the toughest part for youth and young achievers to lose him. See, that same play probably would have been very effective to come right back with, because he's obviously one of the better athletes, and now they have to go to something else.
Last time he was down, it looked like his shoulder was a little bit banged up. I wonder if that is what has reoccurred on this play. They're going to help him up now. And once again, it's that left
he's
shoulder.
holding that left shoulder again the same way.
You see Coach Barrows helping him off the field.
Well, what we've seen young achievers do, they've used the wide side of the field pretty much all game. So this time the wide side is going to be to their right. That's where Woods has done some damage. He rolls out as if it's a pass run option, but in reality, it's a running play.
From the 3-yard line. For young achievers.
So young achievers faced with a 2nd and goal now from the 3-yard line.
I would think it has to be Woods on the rollout.
Yeah, it's really been either Woods or Soriano, really nobody else here tonight.
And again, remember, they have to score and they have to make the conversion to stay in the game.
So it's Soto in the backfield with Woods, and Woods gets
the middle.
met right at the line of scrimmage and is brought down right around the one.
Yeah, he dove forward to make something out of it. Yeah, that's actually an interesting play. There, I think that they guessed that Frederick was going to spread out, so he just the quarterback keeper. But watch how he's able to dive. He got 2 yards out of nothing. He was actually stopped at the line of scrimmage. So they're close to the 1-yard line now.
So 3rd and goal from the 1.
Yeah, this is really tough to not have Soriano, because this is his area.
So it's Woods, Soto, and Kwalik Simplica in the backfield. For young achievers, it's Woods. It's going to take it to the outside.
Yeah,
he walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Knights. So they are able to get the touchdown, and now young achievers has to convert the 2-point conversion to keep the game going.
Been doing it all night. Has that quick first step. Found the gap to slide in. Might come back to the same play, actually, because they had two. He did have two running backs in the backfield with him. Now he's been running to his right most of the time. That time he went to the left.
See the Frederick sideline trying to fire up the defense. Got to get the 2-pointer to keep the game going. Young achievers down by 2. It's Woods trying for the end zone, hesitates. Now it's Woods back over to the right side. Woods scampers into the end zone, ties it up at 14 apiece. What a run,
Pat.
Darnell Woods.
Perfect word, scamper. That was all on his own. That entire play was broken down. Defense did an excellent job to cut him off. Watch, he gets cut off right here. Coming through, runs through that arm tackle, avoids Johnson there, and now is able to reverse his field, but instead of going all the way to the sideline, nice cut, gets the 2-point conversion. So now the offense for Young Achievers will stay on, and going to have Frederick playing defense again.
Young Achievers will start with the ball, second overtime.
So we'll head to the second overtime here at White Stadium. Young Achievers, again, will have the ball. So they, as you mentioned now, and they alternate turns. So last time it was, in the first overtime, it was Frederick who got the ball first. Now it'll be Young Achievers who get the ball first in this overtime set. So we're in overtime number 2 here at White Stadium. First and goal from the 10 for Young Achievers. And it's going to be Woods. Going to run it himself again back this way towards our side of the field. We got a flag in the play.
Illegal block
Usually
in the back.
a block in the back on that type of play like that.
Ten from here, Bobby.
Yeah. That's a big penalty because it comes from the spot of the foul, which was beyond the 10-yard line. So it's going to be more of like a 12-yard penalty.
Yeah,
illegal block in the back. Black.
So we got a player down on the field for Young Achievers. 13-yard.
It's a block
you
on
see
back
it right there.
It's just a little push, actually.
13-yard loss for Young Achievers in that play, including the penalty yardage. And that was a player down on the field. That might be Woods.
And a stoppage of play.
Can't quite see who it is. It could be
right,
Darnell Woods because
you're right.
the other quarterback, Elijah, came in. So it's probably Woods who's down on the field. Our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky's got an update. Seth, what do you have?
Thanks, guys. Young Achievers are still in this game, but they're running out of offensive threats. Darnell Woods is down on the field behind me, and it looks like Jalen Soriano's day is over. Soriano went down for the second time today over by this sideline, hurting his ribs. He stayed in, and on the first carry, when Young Achievers had the ball in overtime, he was hit really hard in the ribs again, went down in a lot of pain. Right now he's sitting on the bench. His day is likely over. So we'll see what happens with Young Achievers' offense. Their defense has helped them in this game all day long. Guys?
Well, they lost their quarterback for this play. That is Woods. Wow. So that's a tough break.
So Woods heads to the sideline. You see Soriano already over there. Probably two of your best offensive players out right now for Young Achievers. And Soriano's going to go back in.
Come back in. Wow. Oh, this is rib. You can tell. You can see him holding the ribs.
You can tell he's wincing there. He does have some kind of rib injury, but.
So the quarterback back in is
Elijah Fernandez back in there. More of a pocket passer. Not going to be running it very much for Young Achievers, so they might go to the air. Ball at the 22-yard line, so second and goal here in the second overtime.
Well, it'll still be first down because of the penalty, so it's going to be still be first and 22. But like you said, pocket passer. This Soriano's back there with him. Probably help block.
Fernandez in that quarterback for Woods.
More of a piston formation. Fernandez looking to throw it over the right side, and the catch is made at the 20. Just a short pickup. Soto coming up with the grab.
Yeah, the little confusion. Fernandez looked the wrong way. As Soriano rolled out to the right. Fernandez looked to the left. Ended up throwing the ball.
Complete to Darwin Soto. 2-yard gain.
Just a 2-yard gain, so it'll be second and goal now from the 20.
From the 20-yard line.
Woods still down at the bench area for Young Achievers.
Okay, now they got two backs in the backfield with Fernandez. Well, direct snap to Soriano.
Yeah, he's trying to get to the edge. Eludes a couple tacklers, but he has nowhere to go as he's brought down at the 20-yard line.
Trying to catch Frederick off balance with the direct snap to Soriano, but good pursuit.
Soriano on the carry, tackled by Montero.
Montero, Sanchez over there also.
That is a 1 yard loss.
It's a 1 yard loss, so it'll be 3rd and goal from the 21 for Young Achievers. Woods does have, oh no, I thought I saw Woods, it was a different player over on the sideline. So Woods still out as Elijah Fernandez tries to get it done here for Young Achievers.
Well, they got single coverage at the top of the screen if he's going to throw it over that way.
Yeah, and that is Soriano at the top of the screen. Got Soto, and a couple other receivers at the bottom. As Fernandez's pass is deflected by the defensive lineman from the Frederick. Nice job tipping the pass away that time. But big number 68, Kiyaja Carter.
Yeah, Carter just fell back in coverage. I'm not even sure if that was where he was supposed to be, but able to get his hand up and knock it away.
Timeout, Young Achiever.
So Carter comes up with the pass deflection. It'll be 4th down for Young Achievers and goal from the 21-yard line here in the second overtime. They have to do something here or else Frederick will take over at the 10 with a chance to win the game on a touchdown.
It's just tough to have Young Achievers lose key players. I mean, you get Soriano hurt, sitting out plays, then you get the quarterback, which has been the most dynamic offensive player they've had all game. Have him go out, and so you have some backups trying to get this score on a 4th down play.
So 4th and goal for Young Achievers. Again, their best player so far tonight, Darnell Woods, out with an injury just a couple of plays ago. He actually happened on 1st down of this overtime sequence. So Elijah Fernandez, the backup quarterback, now in.
4th and goal.
Again, it's Soriano at the top of your screen. Fernandez looking over to Soriano down the right side of the end zone. Just out of the arms of Soriano.
Fernandez pass incomplete.
So like you said, Pat, Frederick can wrap it up. Actually, pretty well thrown ball, just led Soriano a little too far. Also tough for Soriano to reach, too, with those ribs bothering him.
Frederick ball.
Soriano's going to stay in there despite the injury, as he has been the free safety all game for Young Achievers. And now Jonathan St. Ange, the quarterback for the Frederick, who was able to throw a touchdown pass to give them their first touchdown of the first overtime, and completed a 2-point conversion on the following play. We'll see if he can connect one more time for another touchdown and win it for the Frederick Panthers. Frederick sends a man in motion. Sanchez, the deep back. The handoff to Sanchez. as he plows over a couple of tacklers, then is brought down right around the 8. He lost the football, but it was well after the whistle.
I think that was after the whistle.
So good job by the Young Achievers defense on first down to bottle up the hulking running back for Lila G. Frederick.
Looks like he has room right there, but like you said, good job. The defense is still trying to hang in. First player there was Velasquez, who was the process of getting run over, but he did make the tackle.
Yeah, Fraylin Corona also got in there on the stop for Young Achievers.
That rollout pass option really worked well with St. Ange. Like you said, got both the touchdown and the conversion.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if they ran that again at some point in this sequence. 2nd and goal from the 7-yard line.
Fumble the football.
They fumble the snap again at St. Ange, trying to escape some pressure, trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage, but he lost yardage back to the 10-yard line.
Again, good pursuit after the mishap with the snap. Good pursuit by Young Achievers to stay with it. Ange scoops it up, but right now it's trying to just make something out of nothing. Just like you say, just get back to the original 10-yard line.
3-yard loss back to the 10-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
Third and 10. 14-14.
Second overtime, Lila G. Frederick. If they score, they win the game. Meanwhile, Young Achievers has to defend for 2 more downs to get it to the 3rd overtime.
Johnson.
Now on 3rd down, they give it to Johnson on the reverse.
Oh, nice
what a
tackle.
form tackle from Marvin Soto. Oh, no, that time it was Soriano.
It was Soriano.
Soriano gets in there. Jalen.
Tell you, sore ribs and all, huh? Johnson's trying to bide his time. He's waiting for a block from the big fella, and block is missed, and there goes Soriano.
What a form tackle. That time from Jalen.
Like I say, he's been the free safety all night. Read the play, and he comes up if he needs to or stays back in pass coverage.
You got to think that pass play that St. Ange connected on earlier is in play here.
It was a simple wheel route out of the backfield, and he was wide open. And also, like you mentioned before, that rollout play that he was able to complete the touchdown and the 2-point conversion in overtime. That's some play by Soriano, considering he's been knocked out of the game, 3 times?
Couple times, yeah.
3 times already, yeah.
Jonathan St. Ange once again directing traffic, trying to get everybody in the right spot. 4th and goal for Lila G. Frederick. We'll see if they can put it away here. St. Ange again on the rollout, looking to throw. He's got a defender in his face to the end zone, intercepted. And tripped up right around the 5, coming up with the pick. That time was Kwalik Simplissa. So both defenses coming up with stops. And we are headed to a 3rd overtime here at White Stadium.
And Frederick will keep the ball now.
St. Ange tried to get it to the end zone, but with all that pressure in his face.
See, this time, so I was saying, this time he didn't come out clean for the rollout. In the first overtime, when he got the touchdown pass and the conversion pass, he came clean, not much pressure. Not the case this time. Got some tired middle schools out there right now. I mean, they've been playing for a while.
Yeah, the coaching staff from Young Achievers said our guys don't get tired, but I don't know if they've played in a 3 overtime game yet.
They're tired right now, you can tell that, but they've also got a bit of a spark with that interception.
So third overtime now for both these teams in the 2017 Middle School Football Championship. Lila G. Frederick now back to being the first team with the football here in the third overtime.
Coach has got to just tell St. Ains, forget that pass. We've got 4 more downs.
I'm getting word that they're now going to start it at the 5-yard line here in the third overtime.
Oh, so third, that's right. Third overtime.
So they changed the yardage.
Now we can expect some more Sanchez. Xavier in the backfield again.
Start this overtime. We begin from the 5-yard line. Frederick ball from the 5.
Sanchez, the deep back. Johnson, the fullback. They get it to Sanchez, and he
Breaks
slips
the tackle.
one tackle. Sanchez
Couple tackles,
breaks a
touchdown.
couple more.
Yep.
And did he get in? He's very, very close. He
He's
did.
in. Yeah.
Sanchez with the touchdown run on first down. And once again, it's Lila G. Frederick scoring first here in overtime. Xavier Sanchez.
Tough running by Sanchez.
Second touchdown run of the night. That's 3 tackles, 4 tackles, 5 tackles.
Yeah, Simplica just,
I think he's in there.
Just couldn't stop his forward progress.
Frederick was able to score a touchdown and a 2-pointer on their first possession of overtime. We'll see if they can do it again here after the Sanchez touchdown run. Sanchez again, the deep back. St. Ange hands it off to the big fella. Sanchez plows in for the 2-pointer. So Xavier Sanchez with the touchdown and the 2-pointer to put his team up by 8 here in overtime number 3.
You see him moving the legs, just using that upper body strength to shed tacklers.
Sanchez now with 51 yards in the second half and in overtime. Go along with his 2 touchdowns. So once again, Young Achievers now faced with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to extend the game. A very enthusiastic Frederick sideline right now. I'm not sure what the holdup is here. The referees, now they're going to talk about it.
The linesman came in to blow the play dead.
And it must have been an illegal substitution, it looks like, on Young Achievers. That's not how you want to start off that first possession or first play of their third overtime.
Against Young Achievers, that'll bring the ball back to the 10-yard line, where they'll attempt to score from there, first and goal from the 10.
Soriano
on the direct snap. And a nice run here on first down, still on his feet inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line.
A good run by Soriano. It looked like Frederick was waiting for him, but able to use his strength to scoot inside, another 7 yards.
Second down and goal from the 3.
They might just have to ride him because he's, like you said, with Woods out, Fernandez, the quarterback, not really much of a runner. So, yeah.
Soriano with the only other player on Young Achievers with a carry tonight other than Darnell Woods, who got knocked out of the game in the second overtime. So that time a low snap, and it's gathered by Young Achievers.
Simplissa.
Simplissa trying to make something out of nothing. He does. Simplissa
stepped out of bounds.
But then steps out of bounds right around the 10. So after a illegal substitution penalty and a couple of botched plays, we'll make that one botched play. They're back to the original line of scrimmage here on third down.
Simplissa just trying to get back, but ran out of room on the sideline. Well, looks like Fernandez will have to throw the ball on this one. They got 2 players getting in the end zone. You see, Soriano's their best receiver, too, but they need him in the backfield.
So the direct snap to Soriano again. He tries to get to the edge, misses one tackle. Soriano with a touchdown.
Used that last gear.
So Jalen Soriano picks up the touchdown here in the third overtime.
See, it looked like Frederick had the angle on him right there.
Yeah, Montero almost had him.
Right.
But heck of a run there from Jalen Soriano.
Especially considering how he's been bounced around the entire game.
So now Young Achievers are going to have to pick up a 2-point conversion to extend the game again to a 4th overtime.
Well, looks like it's going to be Soriano again. They don't have many other weapons out there.
So here we go. Young Achievers trying to extend the game. Lila G. Frederick looking to come up with a stop to win the middle school football championship.
Frederick takes a timeout defensively. That was the same formation offensively for Young Achievers, so doesn't mean it's going to be the same play, but they're starting out in the same formation. We'll see if Young Achievers wants to change the play now. This is longer than any of the high school games we've had all year.
We were saying before the game that these games are usually shorter because they're only 8 minutes a quarter. I think we jinxed ourselves.
The third. I mean, 3 overtimes just turned it into a 5th quarter.
This has been a heck of a game. Probably one of the best we've seen in the middle school football championship. As we mentioned, shortened season this year. They couldn't start till about October. And both these teams with the 2 best records after the 4-game regular season. Young Achievers coming in at 3-1. Lila G. Frederick coming in undefeated at 4-0. The Frederick Panthers were actually in the city championship last season, got blanked by Edwards 16-0. They're now trying to secure their first middle school football championship victory. And Young Achievers looking to extend this game in pursuit of their own. 2-point conversion now. Soriano looking to get to the edge. There's tacklers there. Did he get in?
Oh, they're saying
he
he's
was
out.
Very close. He did not get in.
They're saying he's out. Wow.
They deny Soriano, and the Frederick Panthers are the 2017 middle school football champions here at White Stadium. Boy, what a game. What a way to end it.
3 overtimes.
Heck of a game between these two squads. Let's get another replay on this game-winning tackle.
It was the same play. It definitely was the same play. Angle forces him out a little bit, and then, yeah, he stepped out of bounds. Yeah. He stepped out of bounds before he got the ball over the pylon.
So heck of a job by the Frederick defense to string out Soriano, who just a gutsy effort from Jalen Soriano the whole time to stick with it and come up with that touchdown. So heck of a game between these two squads, but the Frederick Panthers take home the 2017 middle school football championship here at White Stadium.
22-20.
And just a heck of a game. We had, it was 6-0 for the most of the game until we got into
the end of the fourth
about a minute to go in the fourth quarter.
End of the fourth quarter, that 20-yard touchdown pass made it 6-6, and then from there we've been in 3 overtimes before finally 22-20.
Well, this has been an amazing night here at White Stadium as these two teams, after 3 overtimes, shake hands at the end of the championship game. And folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we will have our MVP and the final stats from this one. 3 overtimes to decide a champion. It's the Lila G Frederick Panthers here tonight.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent. We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors.
Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Got a quarter?
You got a king?
Go fish! In your face! In your face!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
We can warn someone when their drink isn't safe.
And disrupt the situation.
We can.
Get someone the cab.
Or walk them home safely.
We can make campuses safer for our friends.
Our roommates.
Our classmates, our fellow human beings.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can intervene.
It's on us.
All of us.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education? What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
With the groove, show proof, keep it smooth as I bust and move. Hey, yo, step it swiftly, you with me, keep up. If not, just stop, pop a squat, put your feet up, read up, pay attention, listen to the melody. Remember what you heard, got my words to the spell of me. Top notch, got them all jumping like hopscotch, or jumping rope like double dutch in the air. Show me what you got, keep it hot like the heater. You thinking you a treat, cause you're sweet, but I'm sweeter. Leader of the pack, cause they all stay behind me. I'm old school, you don't skip tracks, you rewind me. Find me, working on my craft.
Welcome back to White Stadium in Jamaica Plain at the conclusion of Game of the Week, at the conclusion of the 2017 Middle School Football Championship. It took us 3 overtimes on top of regulation to decide the victor, but the Frederick Panthers were able to defeat the Young Achievers 22-20. It came down to making a stop on that 2-point conversion, but, you know, Lila G. Frederick had a real tough time getting a drive together, scoring points throughout most of the game, but it was Xavier Sanchez, the running back, who came up with the touchdown at the end of the game and also the go-ahead, the 2-point conversion, and the touchdown in overtime to put them ahead. He had a phenomenal game tonight. Very tough runner here for the Lila G. Frederick. He is our MVP, and he is down on the field with our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky. Seth, take it away.
Joined by Xavier Sanchez and Alan Arrington of Frederick. Xavier, it took until the last minute of play to get that touchdown. Then you added the game winner in overtime. What were you guys focused on offensively? Obviously, not scoring until the fourth quarter was probably a little bit scary when you saw that early 6, but continuing to just pound the football and finally getting on the board a couple times late.
What was it like focusing on? Just getting that ball and making sure that we wrap up and stuff like that. I really don't know what to say.
Well, one thing that was very apparent was you weren't afraid of the contact. You were running through guys constantly. How much confidence, once you got that first touchdown, did you have in your ability to, in overtime, continue to be able to run the ball? And then you got that last touchdown, and it looked easy to give you guys the win.
I mean, the confidence, well, I gained a lot of confidence from that, but not too much because I couldn't just, like, 'cause if I had too much confidence, I might not focus, and I might think that, oh, I could be able to just do this and do that. But no, I just, like, stayed my head in the game. I just kept on focusing, and yeah, that's it.
One big thing for you, a year ago you were in a game and you guys lost the championship. Today you guys won the championship. How good of a feeling is it to go out on top as an 8th grader knowing this was your last chance with Frederick to win a title?
Felt great. Yeah.
And then finally, in overtime, when it's going back and forth like that, what are you telling some of the younger guys? You do have a couple of underclassmen on this team. What are you telling them about just trying to stay positive and maybe not zigzag with so many emotions?
Yeah, like, I just tell them to stay focused. Just because they're bigger than them, don't stop trying. Try your best, and we could get through it together.
Xavier, congratulations. You had a phenomenal game. Congrats on the title, and good luck going forward.
Thank you.
Coach, first off, talk a little bit about your coordinators. You weren't able to get here until late in the 4th quarter, and those guys had a lot on their plates, and for the 5th straight time, a comeback win. That can't just all be on you this year.
Absolutely. I mean, I start first with thanking Coach Williams and Coach Seymour. Without their support and just help, we wouldn't be in the position that we're in. But I think I used the word perseverance that defined our regular season, and I think that carried over into the championship game. Playing from behind, staying focused, keeping our mind on the game was definitely important, and I'm glad we finished on top. I sat home watching it on live stream in a serious amount of pain, and I said, for that last drive, win or lose, I need to be here with the fellas. So it was good to see them score, and then for us to finish on top, I think it speaks volumes to the character of our team.
Well, last year it was a little bit of emotional pain falling short in the championship game. Your coordinators told me that the big focus that you guys had this year was the depth. I know you had 3 starters missing today, including your star running back. How nice is it to have a guy like Xavier Sanchez, who's listed as a defensive lineman? He can run the ball pretty well.
Absolutely, and one thing that was said prior to, he's an 8th grader. He's actually a 7th grader, so we have him for a whole nother year. But it was awesome. The entire experience, our season, although it was a shorter season, it was an amazing experience, and we persevered. I mean, I can't tell you how many games we came from behind and we were frustrated, but cooler minds prevailed, and we were able to turn things around and end on top after a well-fought battle by Young Achievers.
And one final question, Coach. Jonathan St. Ange certainly frustrated at points in that first half. How huge was his drive on that first OT, the touchdown pass, and then the 2-point conversion? He had 3 completed passes all day, but 2 coming to keep your season alive.
Absolutely, and I think it reached a point where emotionally I think he was overwhelmed, but all I said to him, it starts with you. And you can experience your emotions, but folks are looking for you to lead. So it's important that despite what you're feeling, the bigger picture is that you need to be there for the team. So I was hoping that worked, and he got out there and made some very, very big plays.
Coach, hopefully you feel better. Hopefully the win helps that a little bit as well. We'll head back to the booth for the final time.
Thanks very much, Seth, and certainly a roller coaster of emotion tonight for Lila G. Frederick, but it certainly ends the way that they want it to, with a middle school championship. And you look at all the different contributors to this game, and we could have picked a couple different guys for MVP. I mean,
definitely.
Their quarterback Jonathan St. Ange had a real nice game, especially that touchdown pass in overtime. They had a few other guys who made a lot of defensive plays.
Oh yeah,
Montero made a bunch of plays as well.
Strange game. Think of it this way: 42 points are scored. Only 12 in regulation. Right? That shows you how crazy. And then you have a winning coach who's injured at home,
right,
and decides to come to the game because it's so close.
Oh, yeah, he says, I got to get there. I don't blame him. Hey, he's watching our coverage, and he saw what he was missing. So it's good to see that Coach Arrington was able to make it out despite the difficulty. Let's take a look at the final stats from White Stadium here tonight before we sign off from the middle school football championship, the EC Young Achievers.
The Young Achievers, Woods unfortunately was hurt after the second overtime, had 20 carries, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he had a conversion too. Soriano had 40 yards and 9 carries, and I'd say a touchdown. Again, most of the scoring was in the overtimes. 3 overtimes worth of scoring. Receiving 32 yards for Soriano with 2 catches, and 1 catch for Vicente with 15 yards, and then combined, Woods and Fernandez, 4 completions out of 12, basically for 49 yards. So not a whole lot of passing, but again, the overtime, They opened the playbooks up.
Let's take a look at the Frederick's final stats.
Frederick balanced again. Sanchez 50 yards with 15 carries, 2 touchdowns. Johnson 39 yards with 7 carries and receiving. 43 yards and a touchdown from Johnson. That was the key one because late in the game, the last minute of the game, he scored that touchdown to tie the game. They didn't get the conversion, but that catapulted them into the overtime. Montero, 2 catches, 19 yards. So overall, St. Ange, 4 for 6, 54 yards, and that one big touchdown in regulation to really set the stage for that amazing overtime. 42 points and 12 in 4 quarters. That's amazing.
It's unbelievable. And the second touchdown of the game came with a minute left in the fourth quarter.
Right. So we had 6 points.
You almost went 4 quarters with just 6 points.
6 points.
It's unbelievable. But one of the best games we've had all season long. We've been waiting for a good one, and that certainly took that title here tonight. It's one of the best games
because the
of the
players are
season.
so young. That's the thing. I mean, we had some high school players. We had some games where some of the veteran guys who played 3 years of varsity. You know, you expect them to play well, but you're talking about 6th, 7th, and 8th graders.
They stayed with it.
They put on a show. They really did.
They could probably play another couple overtimes if they really wanted to. Maybe if it was a little warmer out. Well, folks, I want to certainly thank you for joining us here tonight. If you want to watch this game again, you can go to our website, www.cityofboston.gov/game of the week. All the football games from this 2007 high school football season are up there, so make sure you check that out. You can also follow us on Facebook. Search for Game of the Week here in Boston and go to Facebook. We post a link to the game. We post a lot of different videos, different updates, different graphics. Check that out as well. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV, and make sure if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. We got one high school football game left. That's going to be in 2 days on Thanksgiving morning, bright and early. Make sure you check us out. East Boston versus Excel out of South Boston here at White Stadium. But for right now, we'll say so long here on Game of the Week. Take care, everybody.